Why aren't you listening to me? Doesn't anybody ever listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Listen to me? Blame yourselves for this fucking word salad that I just spit all over the goddamn plate. This is all your fault. You and I like to. That's it. I work under the cover of darkness because I don't need the rest of society to look in my eyes and know that is a bad person. Hey, what's happening, Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Here was my exact quote before we went live at the microphone. Let's do this. I don't give a fuck. And Lily goes, oh, that's a great way to start a show. And then she pointed at me, and then I started talking, and I told you that, which is weird. I just said it off mic. Why would I say it on mic? That seems silly. If I had just said it just before the goddamn show started, there's really no reason to bring it to you folks, right? There's no reason to let you know what was going on behind the curtain. Folks, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you all a question. And when I say you all, I'm sure that not all of you are going to be able to answer this, all right? So let's just direct this to, how do I narrow this down? Let's direct it to the eastern seaboard. Let's go that route. The east coast of America. That seems like a lot of people to ask. People in Florida aren't going to know the answer to this question. And people up north in Maine, they're going to have no clue. I need to narrow it down. Who could I talk to? The Northeast. Let's go that route. Let's talk to everybody in the Northeast because that'll eliminate the South and the Gulf Coast and all those people. You know what? Take that. I gotta check that. The Northeast is really high because, again, there are some people in the Northeast who aren't going to be able to answer this question for me. There are people in Vermont who are going to have no idea what's going on. So let me think. The Northeast, I got to narrow it down. How can I narrow it down? The Mid-Atlantic states. Let's talk to the Mid-Atlantic states right now. Let's go ahead and narrow it down to the Mid-Atlantic states. I have a question for you folks. And then but see, that seems too broad. That's like a lot of people to ask. I don't want to talk to everybody in the Mid-Atlantic states because Maryland, you're not going to have any idea about this as much as I enjoy you and your crabs. I need to find somebody else. I need to get more specific. I need to really find a target demographic and really narrow this down. Pennsylvania. Let's go. Let's narrow it down just to Pennsylvania, and I'll go ahead and ask you guys a question. But that, you know what, also, that's a lot. That's a big state, right? It's one of the big, when there's a presidential election, it's a big state. You got a lot of area there. There's all sorts of different people there. There's Yinzers, and then there's Amish. The Amish aren't going to know what I'm talking about here. Trust me, the Amish are certainly not going to have the answer to this question. So I got to tighten it up and narrow it down. I got to have some focus in Pennsylvania. Philadelphia. How about that? Let's talk to Philadelphia, and I don't think I need to narrow it down any more than that. Folks, here's a couple of questions I have about Philadelphia. Let me ask you this question. First of all, folks, Philadelphia, I've never been there. I don't know anything about you except for what I see on television, I view on the internet. Philadelphia, is it Road Warrior times where you are? Seriously, I would like to know what the deal is with transportation, or is there some sort of gas or car shortage, or are there just Huns and barbarians lurking on the side of the road to roll you and steal your transportation and then tie a couple of guys to the front of it and have Lord Humongous yell about water? What the fuck? I want to know what the fuck is going on, Philadelphia. Here's why. Because I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm coming to town, folks. I'll be in Philadelphia this weekend. That's July 29th, Friday. Have I mentioned that tickets are still on sale? Have I mentioned that tickets are on sale? Because I'll tell you what, I don't even think I mentioned that tickets are on sale according to the response that I've received. I don't think anyone knows the tickets are on sale. Let me tell you right now, folks, tickets are on sale for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Go to brownpapertickets.com and find Mike Schmidt. Success is not an option. Philadelphia. There's a couple up there. That's my foolish head going ahead and booking shows that I thought I would actually sell tickets to. And now I've done it for Philadelphia, which was an error. Let's put it that way. It was an error. I hope we can make it not an error in the next couple of days. But, yeah, I got to shut the fuck up. All right, so but here's my question, folks. There are tickets on sale for me to come to Philadelphia, but I'm actually worried about coming to Philadelphia because I don't know if I'm going to have to parachute in and fight off the angry hordes. I have no idea because I went to rent a car in Philadelphia, folks. Now, I think I've told you I've rented cars in all sorts of cities, all over America, all over this great land of ours. And you can usually use Priceline or you can use coupons or anything like that. Well, I said, that's fine. I'll just Priceline a car in Philadelphia. So I was because I was in Austin, Texas, and I Pricelined a car for $20 and got it. Boom. No questions asked. Done. To the point where I actually went, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have bid $20. I bet I could have schooled that for something else. So then I went to Seattle, Washington, folks. And when I went to Seattle, the great state of Washington, out there, Puget Sound, it was a great show and a great time. I had a good time with everybody there. And I went to rent a car, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bid low. I'm going to bid super low. No, not super low, but low. Certainly lower than 20. I bid $15 on a car in Seattle. Hit enter. William Shatner did a dance with a big Filipino guy on my computer over and over. Boom, got the car. Got a car for $15. That's right. And then you tack on insurance and everything else. I didn't want to be in like 40, which is fine, but I got to buy the insurance now because I don't know if you folks know, there's a fucking history with me and goddamn rental cars and lack of insurance. And if you don't believe me, come to my house and hear my phone ring 3 times a motherfucking day with fucking undisguised creditors who are trying to go ahead and get information from me, even though I laughed in their face and told them I would never pay their bill. So now, that's $15. That's the last place I was at Seattle because I was in Austin. I was in Portland. I wound up getting one for 20 there. So I go to Philadelphia. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I mean, because now I got it down, folks. I am an expert. I know exactly what I am doing. Now, you might remember I was looking for a hotel room in Seattle, and they were expensive. Okay. But then when I broadened my horizons and I went a little further off the beaten path, I wound up getting a decent price for a hotel room when I was in Seattle. Granted, it was on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. But I still enjoyed myself. I had a good time. And all I did, I didn't even sleep there. I literally showed up. I was sleepless in Seattle, as we've mentioned. So Philadelphia, I took care of the hotel early. Did I mention my airfare extravaganza with Philadelphia? Folks, here, I'll tell you this. I was trying to find airfare for Philadelphia, and a few weeks ago, it was pretty pricey. I'll tell you numbers. Why not? I use vagaries with numbers, but I'll tell you the fucking numbers right now. About 3 weeks ago, flights to Philadelphia were about $450. And in my head, I'm like, God damn, that's got to go down, right? Because also when I was going to go to Austin, airfare was crazy. But then 2 weeks out, like $120 came off the fare. I'm like, perfect, I'm in. Seattle, it was a little more than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. It was right in line with what I was willing to spend, and everything was great. But Philadelphia, $450. I'm like, that's going to come down. Certainly, that's going to come down. So I waited, and I checked every day, and it was $450, and it was $450, and it was still $450, and then a couple days later, it was $450, and I'm like, God damn it! So like, well, I'll give it another few days. I mean, it's going to come. Once it gets closer, it comes down, and then it was $470, and then it was $490. And then it was $515. And I went, fuck, I should buy a ticket at $515. I go, wait a minute, this is the worst it's going to be, $515. I mean, it's certainly not going to go any higher than this. So maybe I give it a few more days and I wait to see if it goes down from $515, but it's not going to go any higher than $515 until it went to $545. And then it went to $570. And then it went to $605. And all this time, again, I'm watching it go up, and I haven't bought a ticket yet. And I have to get to Philadelphia. I don't know if you're aware of that. Because I have a show there Friday, July 29th at the Plays and Players Theater, 3rd floor. Tickets are on sale at brownpapertickets.com. Have I mentioned that yet? So I'm looking at the fucking airfare go up and up and up, and it's at like $605, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. What's happening here? And then so I got to figure out a plan, because now we get to the beginning of this week, this particular week that I'm in. It was Saturday, last Saturday, and I went to look for airfare, and it was $715. Not only did it not go down, it went up by $260 in a week and a half. Are you what is going on, Philadelphia? Are you just trying to keep people out? Are you trying to hoard your precious cheesesteaks for your own selves? You're tired of sharing them with tourists? I don't know why are you building a moat? Maybe you've built a moat around Philadelphia. I have no clue, folks. I don't know what's going on over there. All I know is you are pricing it because you don't want people to fucking show up. You are pricing it as if you want everybody to stay away from Philadelphia. We are ourselves. You guys are the rest of the world, and that's fine. I half expect to fly into town and find a border wall. I'm going to have to hire some Mexicans from Maryland to get me a tall ladder so I can leap it over and go to my show, July 29th at the Plays and Players Theater on the 3rd floor. Have I mentioned that yet? Show's at 8 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now at Brown Paper Tickets. This is what's known as the hard sell, folks. So, I see the fucking airfare spiraling out of control. And like I said, I had miles where I was going to use miles. I got some miles at American Airlines, and I was going to use them to get a round-trip ticket to Philly. Well, I needed 50,000 miles, and I was a skosh short. And that's not even a joke. It was a skosh. Because if you go onto their website, you can actually buy miles in increments. It was a skosh. I was exactly a skosh short. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to do the math Saturday, and then... Dude, Friday night. It was Friday night, and I spent all of Friday night, and this is not even a joke. I didn't answer any emails this week. You may have noticed, folks, if you haven't gotten an email from me, because Friday night I put on my fucking ridiculous travel hat and I tried to figure out a way to storm Philadelphia. I was like a fucking Civil War general. I actually laid out a map of it with like lead figures of troops. I brought out an old Risk game and I turned Mongolia into Philadelphia and I just set up my armies on the perimeter to try to sweep everybody in. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting there and I'm doing them. I go to Orbitz. I'm at biddingfortravel.com. I'm at Priceline. I again, nobody has a deal. It's like $715. The thing is, I could have Pricelined a ticket. I did. I tried to Priceline an airfare ticket finally. And it came up at $495. Okay, which is certainly cheaper than $715. But I don't get to pick where I sit. And also, that was flying me into Newark, and I would then have to take a train from Newark into Philadelphia. And look, we all know the trouble I'm having flying into your town. I have to think that taking a train is going to be that much more dangerous. In times of war, you never want to be caught on the train. Because I think we all know where that ends up. And I don't need a shower that badly. So I'm like, I can't take the fucking train. And also, I'm going to sit in the middle. You know I'm going to be in the fucking middle. They're going to jam my fat ass into the middle of some fucking plane somewhere. I can't do it. I can't. And it's in my head, I'm like, you have to pay $225 extra to make sure you sit by a window. This is what it's come to. This is how fucking flawed you are at this point. So I'm checking Virgin. And I'm not kidding you. I had a fucking visor on, like a guy, like an old accountant in the movies. You know what I mean? With like a guy running a telegraph, and I got a fucking protractor and a goddamn legal pad out, and I'm writing all these different routes. And that's not even a joke. I looked at all of the surrounding airports around Philadelphia to figure out what the mileage was. I had to check the driving distance to and from to see about flying in and what the prices were. I actually decided I might fly from Las Vegas to Baltimore. And then drive from Baltimore to Philadelphia, drive back from Philadelphia to Baltimore, fly to Vegas, and then drive back to L.A. It's like, in my head, I'm going, man, these people do not want me to come to their fucking town. And it's funny, ticket sales should have been my first fucking hint about that. But then the fact that you've mounted this campaign to keep me out of your fucking airspace, that drove the point home fucking religiously. So I'm figuring out the math. I'm doing all this stuff. And then I have an epiphany at like 6 a.m, Saturday morning. It dawns on me, and unbelievably, I go, all right, you know what? Because I had like 47,000 miles. You needed 50,000 miles to do the round trip deal. So I could have bought extra miles. Like I said, if I bought a skosh more miles, I can make this happen. But I'm like, fuck, I don't want to, I want to try to avoid that. And then I went, you know what? Wait a minute. Hold the phone, Chuck. Feed mayonnaise to tuna fish. Oh, God damn it. I haven't seen that movie in forever, and it's the funniest fucking movie of all time. Hey, kid, you like music? Yeah, good. Jumpin' Jack Flash. God damn it. I throw my complimentary watered-down drink right in his fat face. Michael Keaton is a fucking genius. God damn it. He should be on TV all the time, just being Michael Keaton. All right. I followed him on Twitter. He's like a horse rancher now. It's like literally that's what he tweets. Shoed the horses today and threw some hay around. Oh, fuck. Remember, Mr. Mom? You were great. Now you're a goddamn dude rancher? I don't need to hear about your fucking chambray shirt. God damn it. And if you're in a dude ranch, drop the fucking Twitter. Why are you trying to stay in contact with me? Motherfucker, cut off all communication. Don't pretend. Don't go to Wyoming and start feeding fucking nags and tell me that I gotta follow that. Bullshit. Make Mr. Mom 9. That's right, skip fucking 2 through 8. Go right to Mr. Mom 9. You know what? Feed mayonnaise to schooner tuna. The tuna with a heart. That's right, I combine your fucking movies. That's Mr. Mom Night Shift. That's right there, all in one thing. Timmy, don't pace your sister. And now I think it's important that I see all of your breasts. I'm mashing up Michael Keaton movies. God damn it, that's fantastic. Prostitution. I think we all know what that means. To shun, to push away. Best part about that is he goes, no, I think it's important I see all your breasts. And someone throws a telephone at him. Oh, my God. Who throws a phone? It's like in fucking Austin Powers. Who throws a shoe, honestly? Who throws a goddamn phone? Because it's like a cell phone you can wing. It's like skipping a rock on a lake. But if you throw a fucking dial-up phone, oh, goddamn, is it awesome. Smashes into the fucking chalkboard. Oh, Night Shift is so good you actually thought Shelley Long was hot. That's how good Night Shift is. Shelley Long's in panties making eggs and you're jerking off furiously going, oh yeah, no. Oh, boy. All right. So, where was I? I don't know. I split into that. You know what it was? I finally decided, I go, you know what? You're about 10 minutes in. Say something funny. Instead of being furiously angry at the fucking East Coast as they've mounted a campaign to keep you out. Hunkered down. I picture them now just digging trenches. Loading muskets. You guys, that's where all those battles took place, right? Fucking John Adams is out there yelling at everybody to go, he's coming! He's on his way! So I sit down and I figure out the math and I'm like, you know what I can do? I had this epiphany and I went, you know what? Here's what I can fucking do. Why don't I buy a one-way ticket with my miles and see if I can do that? So sure enough, I start to dick around and it's because again, it's $50,000 round trip. So I push in, I punch in my miles and I go to redeem travel award and it comes up. I can buy a one-way ticket for my 25,000 miles. Not only that, folks, that's a first-class ticket. So I'm elated. I'm like, oh my, I can get to LA from Philadelphia. I just saved the money. Now all I got to do, I got to figure out how to get home, right? So this is free. It's a free fucking trip from LA to Philadelphia that I just got to pay to get home. This is fucking awesome. It was amazing. I high-fived myself. I did a dance. I'm actually doing that right now. Amazing that I can do the show. I have a microphone around my neck like an auctioneer. So I go ahead and I go to redeem the travel award. It's like 25,000 miles of my 46,000. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And I go ahead and I zoom it in. And in my head, I'm like, I can do another one-way ticket back home. All I need to do is buy a skosh more miles and I'm in. I can do this. So in the meantime, I start loading up the travel award, and it comes up. And again, it's free, right? You get your free miles. You get your 25,000 miles, so I can go that. I get a free plane ticket, first class, amazing. I dig it up, and it comes up. Oh, by the way, Mike, I don't know if you're aware of this. Hi, I'm the asshole from American Airlines that lives in your computer, and I want to make sure you know that this costs you $105. What? Excuse me, sir. I don't know if you saw the visor and my high five dance, but I figured out a way to beat your system by using my free miles that I've accumulated by flying with your airline so many times in the past. It's like we're good friends. We're travel companions. I call you. Hey, you heading over there? Yeah, I am. Can I get a ride? Certainly you can. Do you have $350? Here you go. I'll pay for gas. Let's roll. Done. Fantastic. Hey, do you mind if we take 275 of your friends? Well, they're not really my friends. Well, 275 other people who are breathing and need to go to the same place you're going. I don't mind. Stop and pick them up. It's not like a bus, right? We're not going to have to stop and pick them up all along the way. No, they'll all get on the plane with you at once. And you don't mind if we do that. No, that's fine. We're friends. What are friends for? I pay you $350. They all pay you the same thing. We all get on the plane and have a good time. We all go to where we're going. Fantastic. I've done this a lot with you in the past. And, that's how I've gotten all these miles, so this is free, right? No, not free. $105 to use your miles if you book a plane ticket within 7 days of your trip. I don't know why they would put that caveat in there, because I will tell you this, when I used my miles and they showed me, because I was first class, of course, so I had to choose my first class seat. There's 6 rows on either side with 2 seats. That's 24 first class seats. When I did this, guess how many first class seats were available? 24. So are you holding that for a bunch of schnooks who thought that the air fucking would go down? Is that who you're holding it for? And you're going to charge all of them $100 fucking dollars? You fucking cocksuckers. Are you kidding me? Dude, listen. I firmly believe, and I've said this for years, certainly for the last 10 years, that the airlines are the biggest crooks in the world. Granted, the Republican Party is giving them a run for their money at this point in time. And who am I kidding? So is the Democratic Party. They're giving them a run for their money at this point in time. The entire government is giving them a run for their money at this point in time. But unfortunately, American Airlines would not raise their debt ceiling to save me $100 on my fucking first class flight. So you better fucking believe when I get on that plane, I am going to eat $105 of powdered fucking eggs or whatever the fuck they serve the guys in first class. Because in coach, you know what you get back there? You get air and dirty looks. That's what you get for breakfast. They may throw you a pretzel, but if you don't catch it in your mouth, you're fucked. Because I don't know if you're aware, you're locked down like Kunta Kinte in your fucking seat. Seriously, if they found a way, the airlines, if they could find a way to take the seats out and just chain everybody to the galley, and because they thought they'd make a little extra money, they would fucking do it. And all you would be able to do is peer through the slats above your head and see Ed Asner pointing at America as you sailed there. Waiting for some guy to change your fucking name to Toby. God damn it, the airlines are fucking awful. Awful, awful, horrible, have been always, always. And in 2001, when there was an incident, I'm trying to remember there's a name for it. I don't remember what it was. Was it The Day the Airlines Cried? I think that's what it was called. There was some sort of incident that happened that I can't remember, but it certainly reset the bar for airline crookery, because what happened was they portrayed themselves as the horrid victims of 9/11. Airlines were like, look, oh my God, nobody will fly now because they're scared. Can you bail us out and give us a ton of money? And the government went, yes. Of course they did, because everybody knows that you need to have a air travel system to make this country work, right? So these motherfuckers went and leveraged 9/11 and got money to fucking make sure to cover their losses. But then, here's the best part. They got that money to cover their fucking losses and then still took away your fucking pillows, made your fucking peanut bag smaller, they turned my apple juice into a motherfucking shot glass and actually whittled more room off the seats to jam 3 more fucking people on the goddamn plane. That's what they did. That's what they used their government money for. For their government money, they used it to make smaller apple juice cans. That's what they fucking did. And they had a pillow burning at all of their hubs around the fucking United States. You have got to be fucking kidding me. $105 to use my miles. Get fucking bombed. But they're the only fucking game in town. Because as I've mentioned to you folks, you don't want to be caught on a train in wartime. Who knows where you're going to end up? I think I'm going to do a fine show, and they're like, no, we're going to camp. Camp? I'm far too old for camp. We'll see when you get there. So I go, well, fuck it. In my head, you train yourself. We've all trained ourselves to think, well, it's not as bad as it could be. And aren't you fucking tired of feeling like that? Aren't you fucking tired of going somewhere and spending something and doing something and buying something and going, well, it could have been worse. Fuck, it could have been worse. I am so tired of it could have been fucking worse. Lily told me a story when I got her today. She's got a friend who wound up, was on her way to the bank, and she had her $600 that she needed to deposit to pay rent, and she got robbed on the way to the bank, and the guy took all the money. And in my head, literally the first thing out of my mouth was, well, that was dumb to carry that much money. And then, I'm not kidding, 15 seconds went by, and I went, you know what? Fuck that. She probably thought she lived in civilization, so she didn't think she was going to get fucking rolled by some scumbag for her rent money. Are you fucking joking? Why is it incumbent upon her not to carry her fucking rent money because she might get jumped by some fucking scumbag in the street? Seriously, why do we have to think that way? And the same thing with the airlines. Why do I have to think that they're out to get me? Aren't we all supposed to be in this together? Aren't you trying to have a service that you're trying to sell and you're trying to get me from one city to a fucking another? And I used you in the past and had a loyalty program and I built up these fucking miles and you're still going to ding me for $105? What the fuck? But again, not as bad as $700, so I got to roll with it. Because there's nothing I can do. What the fuck am I going to do? Hang glide into fucking Philadelphia? As I've told you, they got gun turrets set up. They don't even want me there. I've already got to travel under an assumed name. I'm going to get off the fucking plane with a bowler derby on my head and a mustache. Good day to you. Fucking pop my monocle and grab my bag and get the fuck out of there. Sneak around under the cover of night. For some reason, they don't want me there, motherfucker. There's nothing I can do about it. I already got to try to tunnel into the fucking city. Jesus Christ, I got to call the Bear Jew and fucking Brad Pitt just to fucking make an operation where I wind up in a bar. I hope I don't hold the wrong fucking fingers. I'm going to get fucking shot. So that's the one-way ticket. Now I got to fucking get home. And as inhospitable as Philadelphia has made it for me to arrive, in my head, I'm like, well, maybe they'll make it easier for me to leave. Maybe they'll do the best that they can. Maybe they'll all pitch in. Maybe the entire fucking city will just be like, we need to get you the fuck out of here. Here's some tasty cakes. Here's a goddamn cheesesteak. Here's some broccoli rabe because we eat that here. Nobody else in the world eats that shit, but you can take it. Get the fuck out. Here's a Schmitter sandwich and a Iron City beer that we stole from Pittsburgh. Get the fuck out. So I'm like, all right, maybe that'll work out in my favor. So I booked that fucking thing. I pay $105, and in my head I'm like, well, fuck. At least it's not $710, because again, we all settle. We fucking settle, and we take it up the ass from everybody. So now I have to go ahead and search for a flight out. I need to break out. I need to break out of Philadelphia. That's what I need to do. I need to fucking, you know what I need to do? I'm going to get to Philadelphia. I'm going to fly in, and then I'm going to I'm going to find a guy in the hotel, a guy who knows how to get things. And, I'm going to get a tool because I like to polish rocks. As you know, I'm a geologist, and I'm going to just chip a little bit off my hotel wall every single day. I'm going to chip it off. I'm going to go out and deposit it out there in the yard in Philadelphia. And then when the time comes, when I can finally get the fuck out of your city, I know you don't want me there anyway, but when I can finally get out of that city, I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, I got to make my way I got to get in good with the warden. I got to get in good with whoever the warden is of Philadelphia so I can steal his shoes. And then I will fucking tunnel my way out of a goddamn sewer pipe. I will crawl my way through a river of shit just to get out of Philadelphia and come out clean on the other fucking side. That's what I need to do at this fucking point. And you know what? I think I have frequent shit pipe miles that I can use. I can only imagine how much I'll get charged for that. Oh, you want to smash a sewer pipe and climb out through a thing of shit? Well, that's at least $200. Really? Of course it is. I mean, I'm just, swimming through fecal matter just to get out of your fucking city. So what? You got to cough up the dough. Oh, I'll be coughing up something, motherfucker. I got to literally do the backstroke through fucking tuberculosis to get the fuck out of this goddamn city. And I fucking destroyed my Rita Hayworth poster. Motherfucker. Literally, you know what? I'm not even going to leave. I'm going to check in. I'm going to do my fucking show. I'm going to find a table. I'm going to climb up and I'm just going to carve Schmitty was here in the fucking ceiling. Done. Jump off. And even at that point, they'll find me dead and they'll go, we got to get him out of the city limits. Yes, of course you do, Philadelphia, because you don't want me there. You've made it very fucking clear. You know, it might not even be American Airlines' fault. Like, they might have gotten the word from Philadelphia not to let me in, no matter what. You know what? He's going to use his miles eventually, right? Trick him. Charge him $100. See if that deters him in any way. Fuck. So then I book it for $105. Like, God damn it. Fuck, we got to figure out another way. They're going to put me in the hole. I'll be in the hole. All right. But the good news is I'm going to know how to do the Kurgan's taxes. And that will save me. It's better to burn out than to fade away, folks. There's 100 references in there. All right, so. Hey, scumbag. Hey, that's what's going to happen. That guy's going to show up, hey, scumbag, and I'm just going to hit him in the face with a pillowcase full of soda cans. Take that, Kurgan. More references upon more references. All right, so. So now I got to get the fuck out of Philadelphia. So I start to dig around and I'm looking so I figure I'll just go ahead and buy a skosh more miles and go that route. So I have to wait because unfortunately American Airlines is not open for me to talk to them, like at the Advantage program. So I have to wait an hour and I dick around on the internet. I'm trying to figure it out. And so while I'm doing it, I'm surfing other places and I'm seeing that one-way tickets are all $485 and $409. So a one-way ticket is more than it was 3 weeks to go both ways. So, finally, American Airlines opens. I call the Advantage program, and they were very nice and very friendly and very helpful on the phone. Perhaps because I used an assumed name. If they would have known it was me, they would have said, hold on a second, and they would have hit the Philadelphia red button, and everything would have gone off in the fucking mayor's office. And then all of a sudden, the MOVE bombings come over, and they bomb my apartment complex to make sure I don't escape fucking Los Angeles. The MOVE bombings as if that's a person. That's not a person. It was a group. Never mind. Look it up. Look it up. I'm old. The MOVE bombings, it was like Norway and Philadelphia in the 80s or 70s or whatever the fuck it was. All right, so Norway, they're doing well. All right, so why the fuck was I going to talk about that? Here's my favorite thing about Norway. All right, I'll talk about this for just 1 second. And by the way, that is a sentence you have not heard this week. I got to tell you, I am the first person to use that sentence. Here's my favorite thing about Norway. I am the only person to use that fucking sentence. But what I'm seeing in the aftermath is that, first of all, when it started out, of course, everybody in the world went, ha, brown people just fucking destroyed Norway. And then it turned out it was a white dude who likes God. And they were like, well, I guess we should have thought twice because, now it's a white guy who liked God. And then that white guy who liked God, who is look, he's crazy in the fact that he killed 80 people, okay? But he's not crazy. He's not like a lunatic who's, smearing his shit on the walls and eating his own feces and whatever the fuck and writing a manifesto in blood. He wrote a manifesto, but if you read the manifesto, you're like, oh, this is not the work of a crazy person. He's not John Doe in Seven writing in fucking pidgin English. You know what I mean? He's not some fucking nutbag like R. Crumb's brother who writes these like tiny fucking weird hieroglyphic things. He wrote a manifesto that, quite frankly, and I'm going to say this is going to sound weird, but follow me on it. That manifesto makes complete sense to people who feel like that. All right? I don't feel like that. I think this guy's a fucking racist scumbag and needs to have every bad thing in the world happen to him. Unfortunately, he's committed the crime in Norway, where their longest jail sentence, I think, is an hour. I think, literally, I was reading about Norway. They're like, oh, yeah, we're a peaceful people, and they put people in jail for, I think it's 21 years is actually the longest he can do. And I don't know if that's per count or if that's just, overall, because I think literally the maximum prison sentence in Norway is 21 years. It's 30 minutes. You're pointing at that. I was at the maximum prison sentence and she points at the 30. I'm like, the maximum prison sentence in Norway is 21 years. So that's what that guy's going to get. So he's only, he's like, was he 35? He's going to get out when he's 56 and ready to do more damage. Because there's nothing they can do to that guy except put him in jail. Well, you can't change the laws for that one dude, right? But here's my favorite thing about it is the fact that he, everybody in the beginning was like, brown people, and then it turns out not to be brown people. It's one white dude. It's not even brown. It's not even people. It's white dude, and white dude takes care of business, and then he tells them. He goes, by the way, I have this huge manifesto with a bunch of racist shit in it, and go ahead and read it, and it should explain some things. And then they go, okay, and then they interview him, and he goes, by the way, I'm working with 2 sleeper cells. I don't know if you're aware of this. I've been working with these cells for several years. I can't tell you any more about that, but I'm not alone in the way I think. And they go, okay, great. And then they hold a press conference, and they go, we're pretty sure he acted alone. Really? So I guess what you're saying is this investigation is over? The guy who wrote a 1,500-page manifesto about how much he hates minorities and wants to save the country and tells you the name of a sleeper cell he's been in for like 11 years and that he's been working with 2 other sleeper cells all over the place, you're just going to dismiss that out of hand because he's nuts? Good for you. I'll tell you where I'm not vacationing, Norway. Although right now, the way it is, quite frankly, A, nobody wants me to come to the fucking city anyway. And B, you got to think that right now in Norway, they're on alert for any white guy who wants to come to town, right? They're like, look, we got enough weird white guys here. We don't need more white guys from out of town. Not that Norway's thinking I'm from out of town. Really? I'm an American. They're like, oh, who's this guy from out of town? I'm from out of the country. Oslo. That's not, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the sidekick we would have on one of our sitcoms from the 50s. And, like he'd be the nerdy high school guy who kept bothering Dobie Gillis, and someone would hit him with a hat. Oslo! All right. Yes, that's right. I take down your capital. As if they weren't reeling enough. Now they got to get beaten up on a podcast. Oh, my gosh. As if it hasn't been a tough enough time for Norway. Now they need me to step up to the plate and make fun of their name. Oh, Christ. So, now I need to get out of Philadelphia. So I'm on the phone with the Advantage people, and they're like, hey, this is great. They make a reservation for me, and they tell me, you know what, all you need to do is go buy these miles and then call us back, and we'll go ahead and apply your miles, and everything will be fine. I said, okay. And she goes, but it's going to be it's $105. Or no, it's $50. It's $55. I go, can you tell me why there's that charge? She goes, well, you're doing it within 2 weeks. She goes, if it was a week, the good news is if it was a week, it would have been $100. And I'm like, oh, that's the good news? Really? You know, the good news would have been if you would have said, oh, we're not charging you. That would have been much better news than the good news you just fucking handed me. But of course I didn't say that to her because, again, it's like the TSA or air marshals or that you can't be a smartass anymore. That's the one thing. Airports, not only did they steal all of the money from the government and then they fuck you at every turn, they've also taken away your sarcasm. You can't be a smartass to anybody, TSA or on the plane or anybody anywhere, because all they do is they fucking go, all right, well, then you're not flying today. And again, they're the only fucking game in town. It's not like you can go outside and hail a dragon. That's not going to fucking happen. Literally at the curbside, you just fucking blow out a Phil Jackson whistle and a dragon pulls down, you hop on it. Like in heavy metal, you fucking ride it all the way to fucking Philadelphia. That's not going to happen. Because again, as I've mentioned, they've got gun turrets mounted on the tallest buildings. A dragon starts coming over the horizon with you on it, they're going to fucking shoot you down. Christ, if it's just me, they're going to shoot me down. Like I said, in a hang glider, anything. If I'm in the thing Snake Plissken flew onto the fucking roof in Escape from New York, they're gunning me down, motherfucker. But if I come in a dragon, I got to think they're especially on high alert. Call Matthew McConaughey. He chews on a cigar and grows a 3-day stubble. Stars in a bad movie. All right. I actually heard that movie wasn't bad. The Dragon Fighter or whatever the fuck. I don't know what it was called. There was Dragon Slayer was when I was a kid. And then there was the movie with Matthew McConaughey. Might have been Firebirds. I don't know what the fuck it was. Some movie where he's like a dragon hunter and he's like a tough guy. I didn't see it, but I heard it was good after the fact. But again, as you know, I don't like anything anymore. I don't like any movies. I don't like any. I barely like talking to this microphone. That's you know what? I'm talking to this microphone. That's what I'm doing. I'm not talking into a microphone, folks. I'm certainly not talking to you. I'm talking to the microphone. The microphone can decide whether or not it wants to send you the message. I don't fucking care. The microphone, literally, if I came here every week and I just talked to the microphone and it kept all of these words in its little foam head, that'd be fine with me. I don't give a fuck. I said I don't like doing it, but I will do it every goddamn week. But the microphone graciously has decided through the use of his friend the Cord to share this with you. The microphone could very easily. This microphone could actually put up a little like a wall. He could put up and block the words and knock them to the ground, and then you would never see them. And I'd be here knee deep in fucking words every week trying to walk the fuck out. That would be horrible. But instead, the microphone has graciously opened itself up like an audio vagina, and it has accepted my love. And then it goes ahead and it pollinates the cord, and the cord puts it through to the computer. And the computers, look, let's not neglect the computer's role in all of this. Stupid. All right. I got to get the fuck out of Philadelphia. I got to figure out what to do. So she's like, all right, go ahead and buy your miles. That's fine. And I said, okay, can you do me a favor? Can you hold on? Like, we're doing this online. I'm on your website. I'll go ahead and buy the miles now, and then you can apply it and issue me the my thing, because I said I've been trying all night to find a flight. And she goes, no. I said, what? She goes, no, I'm sorry. I can't hold on while you do that. We have plenty of other people waiting on the other lines, and so I have to take those calls. I said, this will take a minute, like literally 1 minute. And I was on hold for 7 minutes. So it would work out to where I would get my minutes back, right? I mean, it'd work out okay. Just if you hold on, I'm on the website. Oh, I got to click 2 buttons, and then you'll have it on your screen, and you can go ahead and issue me a flight. I'll use my miles. I'll redeem it. It'll be fine. She goes, sir, I'm sorry. I can't hold. I've actually, have I solved your problem sufficiently now? I appreciate it. And we appreciate you using American Airlines, but I do have other callers that I need to help. Because apparently word got out that she was talking to Mike Schmidt. And she went, I got to wrap this the fuck up, because I got to let the people in Philadelphia know that this guy's serious. So I went, okay, I'll buy the miles. And she goes, yes. And then when you buy the miles, just call us back. I go, yeah, but then I got to go through your voicemail system again and hit all the prompts. I go, I just, you're here with me on the phone now. We're together now. Like, I mean, like she was breaking up with me. And I'm like, oh no, and she's like, it's not you, it's me. And I'm like, no, it's you. Definitely. I agree. You don't have to assure me that it's not me. It's most definitely you. I don't want you to go. Stay with me. Let's do this. Let's consummate our return flight together. Let's do this. And no, she shunned me, shut me out, broke up with me, let me go. So yeah, she fucking hung up. And so I'm sitting there and I look and I go to buy the miles, and the skosh that I have to buy of miles, gee, that's only $148 for those miles. So that'll be $148 that I'll cough up. So then I'll have enough miles to use for my return flight, right? Also adding in the $55 that is what I have to use to book that flight. So then I do the math. I go, that's $213 plus $105. That's $318 plus 50,000 miles. That's what it was going to cost me to go to and from fucking Philadelphia. And at that point, I went, you know what? Fuck you, American Airlines. And fuck you, airlines. And fuck you, air, quite frankly. Why are you even allowing these great winged birds to soar upon you? You fucked it up for all of us, air. Certainly you keep us alive, but as you keep us alive, you continue to take things away from us by creating the airlines and the possibilities of having us fucked in the future. Stupid air. No wonder we keep you in tanks. That's right. We keep you in fucking tanks, air. We are the master of you. We can put you in a fucking tank and there's nothing you can do about it. We compress you. We actually fucking compress you. Do you realize that, air? You think you're all over the place and you're surrounding us. If you ever fucking wanted to, you could go ahead and rebel, but you can't. Because we suck you into cans and use you to clean our fucking keyboards in a burst. Fuck off. Stupid air. So, I decide in my tiny brain, I go, you know what? This is another $200 plus 25,000 miles that I've got to use to fucking come home. Because I also said to her, I should tell you this was the thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. I said, okay, now she goes, that's an economy ticket. I said, well, it's a first class ticket, right? Because it's 25,000 miles. She goes, no, I'm sorry. We don't do that on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, it's 25,000 miles for any return flight. And you'll be in coach. So on the way there, I paid $105 and 25,000 miles to sit in first class. On the way home, I would have to pay $200 and 25,000 miles to sit in coach. And that's when I decided, fuck you, American Airlines. And fuck you, Air, and fuck Lines, and fuck America. Every part of that. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and find a motherfucking ticket on my own. And I went and I started to dick around. I'm looking at every flight in the fucking world. And then I'm like, well, can I drive to Allentown and fly from there? Do I have to go to Atlantic City? What the fuck? And then in my head, I swear to God, I actually thought, I'm like, what if I put the word out on Facebook that I would need a ride from somewhere, like in Philadelphia? Like, would a fan, a listener, or someone who thinks they know me, would they come and pick me up and drive me to from Newark or Atlantic City to Philadelphia? I'm like doing the mileage, and I'm like, yeah, that, you know what, that actually, I entertained that thought for about 5 seconds, and then I went, you can't even sell tickets to this fucking show. You can't even get people to pay to come to see you do the thing you do best. Now you're going to get them to tool up to the airport and possibly have a soda with you while you awkwardly sit in their car, motherfucker? That's not happening. You've already gotten the message. This city does not want you in the city, within the limits, anywhere near it. The people, as a populace, as a group, have all banded together. It was on the ballot. It was actually on the ballot in November. They voted against Mike Schmidt coming to town. And I flew right in the face of convention, not on an airplane, mind you, because that would have cost me too much fucking money. I flew into the face of convention on my own via skateboard or whatever the fuck, and still decided to book a show in Philadelphia, not realizing the entire city had decided to hate me actively. And then I can't take a fucking hint. I can't take a hint with ticket sales and fucking these people trying not to bring me to town with airfare and all this other bullshit. I think I'm going to reach out to somebody to pick me up at the airport? Who the fuck are you kidding? So that idea came and fucking went. And I started doing more math and figuring it out. And then finally, I wind up, you know, I go through, because I have some miles in Continental and United, and I have some miles. Yeah, I go to Delta. I look at them. I look at JetBlue. I consider Baltimore. Again, I got the legal pad out. I got the fucking compass and the protractor. I'm starting to do the math, figuring it out. I got the visor tightly wound against my head. I got fucking all sorts of sweat falling down. And I'm trying to figure out a way to get home from Philadelphia. And again, all I should have done was told Philadelphia, hey, I need to get out of your city. And they would have taken up a collection and gotten me the fuck out. I should have used their hatred for my advantage. But no, I decided I'm going to go ahead and do this the right way. So I start looking, and then I have to go to those, then I'm looking at Spirit Airlines. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit next to a chicken. I have no idea. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Frontier Airlines. Like, I'm checking all those shit airlines that have turboprops and a man on the wing of that plane. God damn it. Me and Shatner are screaming and nobody will fucking listen to us. John Lithgow's sweating like a motherfucker. There's a man on the wing of this plane. And Shatner and I are on the other side going, yeah, there's one on the wing of this plane too. And we're staring at one another and nobody else will fucking listen because they're too busy trying to keep the cow from eating their carry-on. So fucking Frontier is out. Spirit is out. I'm running out of fucking options at this point, folks. I tried to buy a ticket on the Soul plane. Seriously, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Let's get Snoop. He can get high and fly me out of Philly. Let's fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll fly on snakes on a plane. I don't give a shit. Get me the fuck out of this town and quit charging me extra money to do it. If you told me it wouldn't cost me $105, I would fly with snakes on a motherfucking plane. I don't give a shit. Planes are bad enough. Seriously, a snake is not going to make my flight any worse. It really is not. I know that sounds weird. Snakes on a plane will not make my flight any worse. Because I don't move. I don't care. Snake was going to bother me. Everybody else is going out of their fucking minds and running around in circles. As much room as they possibly have to run around in circles on a goddamn fucking plane. I'll just sit there and sleep. I don't give a fuck. Let a cobra go up. His rattle would put me to sleep. Get a rattlesnake. He'll fucking put me to sleep. I'll listen to it. It's like white noise. Good for you. Put me to sleep, Snakey. His name's probably not Snakey. That would be the most unimaginative pair of snake parents in the world. All right, so I got to get the fuck out of there. I don't give a fuck. I'll sit next. Literally, I'll sit next to Robert Hayes. He can tell me all he wants to tell me about his time in the army, and I will not kill myself. Because I will just sleep through it. Let's do it. I don't care if there's a singing nun and she knocks the fucking the IV out of Jill Whalen's arm. Let's do it. Get me the fuck out of here. I don't speak jive, but I'll let those motherfuckers talk jive to me the entire time, and I'll nod politely. And me and the corpse of Barbara Billingsley will make knowing eye contact across the fucking aisle at one another. Get me the fuck out of here. So I'm stumbling around. I'm looking for a fucking plane. I'm stumbling around the internet, literally like drunken, like punching anything, airlines, air, anything at all. And finally I stumble into just the fucking dregs. You know what I mean? Where you're looking at all these different, and I find AirTran. Because I tried, like I said, I tried US Airways because there's a hub over there. I tried all these different people. Finally, I went up with AirTran. And look, I have nothing against the LGBT community. But I did not know that there were so many of them in transit that they needed their own airline. I mean, that's fine. If it's going to save me money, I don't give a fuck. I will fly on a plane full of transsexuals. I will put on the dress. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be an ugly fucking woman, I'll tell you that. But I'll be an ugly woman if it gets me home without charging me extra motherfucking money. I don't care. I do not want to see the sky waitresses on that plane. I got to be honest with you. Although it could work to my benefit. I could be on a plane with, a ton of like hot air trans. That'd be fucking fantastic. Holy shit. If I'm on there with like, Serena Valentina and Bailey J and fucking Mia Fever, man, I know way too many names of transsexuals. Holy shit. I ran off 3 like nothing. Wow, that was bad. Holy shit, folks. Look, you got to look at something when you're trying to find an airline. You're killing yourself. You can't spend 8 hours looking at fucking airplanes. Holy shit. That's a guy who knew 3 names of transsexuals in 5 seconds. Wow. Oh, Karen Summer. Sure, there's a 4th. I'll throw her in there. One of the earliest and best. All right. Yeah. So I didn't even know that those people had their own airline. Good for them. That's fantastic. Because they probably got their own security line too, because they're hiding weapons. We all know that. I mean, you got to have a certain kind of TSA agent who knows how to deal with the tuck, right? Literally, like, it's an entire. When you go through that machine, they all look like Jamie Gum because they all got to put their hands out and just fucking. Oh, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard. All right. Goodbye, horses. I love that song. I have that song. I sent it. I sent it to my buddy Pat, and he was like, I don't know the song. I go, you don't what? He goes, I don't know the song. I go, dude, it's the scene when fucking Jamie Gum does the tuck in the Chicks in the Well trying to steal the poodle in Signs of Lambs. He goes, oh, horrible. What do you mean horrible? That movie's awesome. That song is fucking awesome. All right. So I figure, well, I can fly with the transsexuals if they'll have me. That's the thing. I might not be good enough to fly on their airline because this is for them. It's that's what they do. And again, whatever they want to do to me, if they want to make me up, if they want to put me in a goddamn dress, I don't fucking care. If it gets me out of town, I will do whatever I can to be passable because I know it's all about being passable. All right, that's the whole deal. And if I can get on a plane, I don't know if I can be passable, but if I can I'll just be quiet and let them go ahead and talk to RuPaul or whatever the fuck they got to do. I got no idea. So I go to AirTran and I look it up, and I find a flight out of Philadelphia, and I find a veritably empty plane. Like the plane is literally everything else is like sold out or like crazy money. I find this flight out of Philadelphia. Granted, unfortunately, as I'm leaving here, I go from LA to Chicago and then from Chicago to Philly. Well, when I'm leaving there, I have to go from Philly to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to LA. But the plane is empty, so I'm like, well, that's fine. I can deal with that. I'm excited about that. It's only $350. Okay, which that $350 plus the $105 that I spent is $455, which is what I should have spent fucking a month ago. So I would have avoided all of this bullshit this weekend. But at least I got a first class flight out of it. So I'm like, well, I can do this. I can do AirTran. I can fly the fuck out of there. I hope these people are excited to have me on their plane. That's fine. Maybe they'll ask me questions about the world of man. And I'll ask them questions about the world of transsexuals. We'll all get along fine. We'll have like s'mores and a cookout and we'll paint our nails. So I have no idea what they do at their parties or on their planes. I don't know. I look forward to finding out. Unless it involves the Goonek in some way. Although the fact that I was able to pull fucking 5 names pretty quick. All right, never mind. So I go to book this plane. And AirTran, it's very straightforward. Which is weird, because normally when you see a transsexual, that's not straightforward at all. Because you're in your brain. Like, is that a man? Is that a woman? I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of questions involved. But with AirTran, there were no questions. It was like click, click, 350, click, click. There we go. So I go to buy it. I go to get ready, and they're like, "Hey, you want to pick your seat?" Because again, on the plane, it's very important for me to pick my seat, folks. And I can tell you, that's very important on Air Transsexual. Because everybody on that plane is picking their seat. So. I'm going to pick my own chair. So a chair. Yes, they have lazy boys. It's a big plane. So I go to pick my seat, and they give you the flight map. And again, like I said, it's empty. I'm like, this is awesome. So they had, and even the exit rows were empty, which was cool. So I go and I click on it. And when I clicked there to sit there at the window seat in the exit row, and again, I'm only sitting there because I don't know the size of the AirTran plane. I don't know if it's big or small, so I'll take an exit row there. And you know me, I don't like exit rows, but I will do it on the way home because it's such a long flight. I'm like, fuck it, just do it. So I picked that flight, I picked the exit row, and hey, guess what? Free Wi-Fi in the exit row. And so you get free Wi-Fi and all this leg room and all that stuff. Oh, gee, it's only $20 more. AirTran. I should have expected the bait and switch from AirTran. Because what are they doing most of the time other than switching their bait around? God damn it. Listen to me. All right, listen to me. And I mean this. Come as close as you can to your earbuds or your iPod vagina, whatever the fuck you're listening to me through. I am the funniest fucking guy in the world. Do you hear me? Do you fucking hear me? I am so fucking great. Jesus Christ, am I great. Why the fuck doesn't anybody realize it other than myself? Holy shit, am I the best. All right. God damn it. I fucking love me. I would be kissing my biceps right now if I thought it meant anything to you guys. All right. You wouldn't see it. Nobody would get it. All right. Look, to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And in podcasting, I am the fucking man. Certainly the charts don't reflect it. Absolutely the feedback has been bad, but I don't give a fuck. All right. So I'm on AirTran. Switching their bait. God damn it! All right. So $20 sitting in the exit row with fucking Wi-Fi and leg room and bullshit. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. You know what? Why? And I'm on fumes at this point because I've wrestled with operators. I've looked at every goddamn plane in the fucking world. I'm like, I just got to get out of Philadelphia. What the fuck? Seriously. I'm about to book a seat on my thumb. So I go, I can't. Look, I'm just going to take a regular fucking seat. All right, just let's. Who cares? I wish I could use Wi-Fi, but I'm just gonna sleep. I don't give a fuck. Legroom I wanted. Who cares? Just choose a regular fucking seat and get this transaction over with. So fine, I go back and I pick the the row, like row 19 or whatever the fuck, and I pick the window seat exactly where I want it to be, and I click it, and AirTran informs me that if I want to choose my own seat, there's a $6 charge. So the exit row I kind of understood because it's leg room and it's a prize seat and everybody cares and there's Wi-Fi and bullshit. You want to charge $20 for that? I guess that fucking makes sense. Virgin America charged me $40. But just for the privilege of deciding where I want to sit rather than making you do it, it costs me $6. That charge is antithetical to the entire idea. Because I'm saving you fucking work. If I made you choose my seat, then I should pay you for the work that you did. $6 seems a bit much to fucking have you assign me a seat, but whatever, but I would pay it if I guess I made you do extra work, but I'm the guy who did the fucking work. I picked my own chair. So then I'm like, well, did I pick the $6 seat? Like, I thought it was a lotto drawing at that point. I'm like, did a ping pong ball come up and say $6 when I grabbed that seat? Like, is that the magic seat? So I go, fuck it, I'll just pick. So I started clicking on all the empty seats. $6. That's a charge. On AirTran, it's $6 fucking to sit where you want. You cocksucker robber barons. You motherfucking airline jagoffs. You have got to be shitting me. Every last dime you wring out of our ball sacks, every last dime you drag out of our vaginas, and why, by the way, why are we keeping all of our money in our fucking genitals? That makes no sense at all. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Buy a wallet or a purse. Holy shit. And because you know what? But with us keeping it there, they know exactly where it is. That's where they go immediately. They go right for the ball sack and the vagina. They're like, hey, let's get every dime out of there. Well, why the fuck are we keeping it in there, folks? God damn it, buy a money belt. Do something. Throw them off the trail. That's on us. You know what? I was mad in the beginning at them, but that's on us for keeping our money in our genitals. I got to stop taping my wad into my scrotum. But you know who doesn't? Transsexuals. They got to tuck. You know how hard it is to tuck with a fucking knot full of cash up there? So I fucking literally I you know what I did? I actually went into my bathroom and there was a towel and I tore a white strip of cloth, like a white flag, and I just put it into my my disk drive as a show of surrender. I just gave up. I waved the white flag and jammed it into my fucking dish. There you go. You win. Here's $6. Get me the fuck out of Atlanta. The final wheedle. The final fucking injustice. Everything's fine. Oh, by the way, $6. You want to pick your own seat. Holy shit. Now I understand what happened in Norway. That guy was trying to fly out of town. Guy's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And he went through all these, like, looking to fly. He's like, I can't stand it anymore. There's Muslims here. I got to go somewhere where there's no Muslims. I got to go ahead and figure out, you know where there's no Muslims? The airport. They've made sure of that. They've cleaned them out as best they could. So I'll go ahead and buy a plane. And then fucking a day later, he went, fuck this. I am buying hollow points and cleaning out our future. Fucking airlines. Your fault. That's right. And air. Your fault too, air. Don't think you're off the hook. With your constantly sustaining our life force. No one cares. If you were we could get along without you, air. We could. We would go to the moon and do whatever we could without you, but it's just we can't build a ship big enough right now. We will. We will eventually. And then, air, what's going to happen? You're going to be down here alone with all of our garbage and Wall-E. That's it. That's all you're going to be left with. Literally, air. You are just going to be down here as atmosphere. And the best part is, air, there's free air looking around. And once we leave, you'll be like, haha, we run the planet. But then you look around and you realize so many of your hostages are here and there's nothing you can do about it. You look at a can of Glade, you'd be like, oh, my brother. And you can't free him because you can't push a motherfucking button. You can't make an air fist and push a button. Air. We own you. We are the master of you. Fuck off. My lungs are full of you and there's nothing you can do about it. Try to kill me right now. I dare you. Right now, air. Oh, look, you can't. Interesting. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and befoul you with scents. I'm going to light a scented candle and make you smell like a fucking apple. Take that, air. I run you. All right. So, So I finally do that. I find, like, bleary-eyed fucking Friday night, Saturday morning. It's like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So then, of course, I got to get back to looking at trannies and taking a fucking roll call. Holy shit. All right. And I go to Twitter, and it's so funny. Look, you go to Twitter, and you see what's trending, and you see a name, and immediately I go, oh, well, something bad happened to that person. Because, like, I saw Lauryn Hill was I'm like, oh, no, Lauryn Hill is dead? That's not good. But then, here's something that's crazy, though, all right? Trending topics. Twitter is a young man's game. Okay? Twitter's a young person's game. Because go on Twitter in the morning. If you're in California, go on at, like, 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning. And I guess that would be noon if you're in the Midwest. And it would be 1 if you're on the East Coast. Holy fuck. Why? Why am I obsessed with those numbers? But the best part is you'll go in and every morning, this is not a lie, Bernie Mac will be trending. And Jamie Foxx will start trending. And in my head, I'm like, why the fuck is Bernie Mac trending? So it caught me, like for the first couple weeks, I would check it every period and I would see, well, here's why. Okay? Because young people are home for the summer and they're watching the Bernie Mac show on FX in the morning, and they're twittering about how much they love Bernie Mac, or this episode is really funny, because Twitter is it's just a way for people to type nonsense at one another. That's all it is. And again, I don't recognize Twitter as any sort of news-breaking thing where it comes in handy during those times, but on the down times when there is no fucking news, then people are going to tell you how much they like the Bernie Mac show, and that's fine. But I'm praying. It's so funny. I check it every day. I see Bernie Mac and I pray. I click it, and it's always about the Bernie Mac show, about whatever episode is on. But I'm praying for the day that I click on it and Bernie Mac has risen from the dead. And he is having a zombie attack on Chicago. Holy fuck, would that be great? How great is that? And how, by the way, but the zombie Bernie Mac, don't shake that hand. Because if you thought his hand was rough in Ocean's 11 when he was using the camphor was rough on his hand, imagine how rough zombie Bernie Mac's hand is going to be. But I pray every day that it's a zombie. I pray every day. What was it? I pray every day. That's a song. What song? I pray every day. Whatever. You know, I'll just say it's MC Hammer, even though it's not, because he prays, and I pray. Oh my God, do I pray? All right. But MC Hammer, 4 Non-Blondes, same thing, right? Did I ever tell you I met Linda Perry from 4 Non-Blondes? I told that story on here, right? I was bouncing at the House of Blues, man, and I was upstairs in the fucking, they had me up in the hallway where you let in celebrities or whatever the fuck, and Linda Perry's band was there playing. And she came upstairs, and the entire upstairs fucking is just pot smoke and douchebags. All right, that's all it is upstairs at the House of Blues. Every fucking band thinks that they can bring their friends in even if they don't have passes. It's a fucking hassle. It's the worst place to be, because downstairs you can at least see the fucking show. Upstairs, all you're dealing with is motherfuckers who are like, don't you know who I am? How important I am? I'm on the list. Fuck you. So Linda Perry's there with her band, and they're all in their room, and it's fucking. It was like being inside of Snoop Dogg's lung. I mean, I thought. Rappers smoked a lot of dope. Linda Perry's band was going off. You know who was not, though? Linda Perry. She actually came out into the hallway because she's just like, I can't be in there, because it was like so fucking relentless in smoke and stuff. And plus, she's a singer, probably wanted to save her voice. So she comes out in the hallway and introduces herself as Linda, and I introduce myself as Mike, and she hangs out with me for like 35 minutes. Because she thought I was funny or whatever, and we hung out, and she was funny, and we got and she could not have been nicer or more cool. God damn, she was great. She was like the coolest person I ever met at the House of Blues. Yeah, her and Bridget Fonda. Bridget Fonda was fucking awesome. Because the night Dwight Yoakam was there, she came because she was dating him at the time, and she was another one who hung out and talked. Because it was like, because they don't want to talk to anybody else, and they're famous, and then when you don't treat them like they're famous, you're just being nice to them, they want to hang out. You know what I mean? They're normal people. I don't know how the fuck I got into this. How the fuck did I get into this? Oh my God, do I pray? So yeah, 4 Non-Blondes, MC Hammer, same thing. Never met MC Hammer though. Met Busta Rhymes at the House of Blues. Fucking hated him. But I mean, I had to be honest. I tried to get over on him, couldn't do it. He had us all in check. Woo-ha! All right. Again, folks, come as close as you can to your earbuds. I am the best. All right. The hell was I talking about? I got into something. Bernie Mac's trending. All these people are trending. So Lauryn Hill was trending. So then Saturday morning, I see that Amy Winehouse is trending, and I know for a fact FX is not showing the Amy Winehouse show. So I can't imagine what that's going to be about. And certainly, unfortunately, it was exactly what we all thought it would be. As I clicked on her name, and it turned out that she was dead. Which was a drag. All right. I think, and look, I don't think it was a drag because, look, it's a drag when anybody dies. All right. I'm now old enough to where I look back and I go, nobody should fucking die ever. You know what I say? I say nobody should die. We should all stay alive and just keep breathing this air. Fuck this air. Let's just keep, let's all stay alive and trap this air in our lungs. Because he thinks he runs the planet. Fuck you, air. Why is there a guy? It could be a lady. I don't know if I have no clue. You can't see it. But when I breathe in, it doesn't feel like it's a cock. All right. Although I wouldn't know, I suppose. All right. So Amy Winehouse was dead. And so then I immediately, of course, said, well, what do I tweet? Because that's the kind of person I am. But I don't want to make fun of her. Because, I mean, there's no point in making fun of her. It's just, it was inevitable, right? I mean, we all knew this was going to happen. I think, actually, 4 years ago, that was why they invented Twitter. Because the guys, Biz and the other dudes who invented Twitter got together and they're like, look, Amy Winehouse is going to die from drug abuse at some point. And we got to be there first with the news, but we got to figure out a way to keep people in contact. Because that's all Twitter is. You know what Twitter is? It's air. on the internet. That's all it is. There's a line in fucking Natural Born Killers where Woody Harrelson yells at Robert Downey Jr. He goes, you're on the media. He goes, you're not even a real person. You're a media person. He goes, the media is like the weather, only it's man-made weather. That's exactly right. And now that I think about it, I actually stole that joke to make that Twitter joke. I didn't mean to. But that's where my mind went first, and then I also I have to mea culpa. I apologize, Oliver Stone. I just ganked you for a second, and I stole your own thing. I thought I was brilliant. I'm like, that's why 4 years ago they invented Twitter. They got in a room and they went, all right, look, Amy Winehouse is going to die, and we need to make sure that everybody in the world can tell each other immediately. And so they invented Twitter. That was why they did it. Plus, we also know we have to set up an alarm in case the Bernie Mac zombie apocalypse starts. We want to have a worldwide alert system so people can know the second Bernie Mac has popped from his grave and is gravelly voiced eating brains. Even he's yelling brains in an even more gravelly voice than usual for a zombie, because he's Bernie Mac, folks. Goddamn, Bernie Mac was funny. All right, so why do you shake your head at me? Why do you mock? You don't think Bernie Mac was funny? You are incorrect.
I am too white.
Midnight Mac. He used to do a show in Chicago called Midnight Mac. Fucking, and they had carried it once on on literally it was one of those like channel 41, you know what I mean, that no one would ever see, but it was like he got on like a cable access thing, and it was fucking fantastic. He used to host a variety show called Midnight Mac. God damn it, he was amazing. And then, it would go off the air, and you'd have to watch 4 hours of commercials before Do Black Patent Shoes Really Reflect Up? And every other black theater in the world, Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God, starring Raj from What's Happening. All right. There's a whole other world. There's a whole world of black theater I know nothing about. You know why I don't? Because I get to the door and there's a huge fucking tranny named Tyler Perry who won't let me in to see his play. He's like, hey, look, I'll let you fly in my plane. You cannot come in and see this plane, motherfucker. All right. Play. The play! Hervé Villachez, worst theater critic in the world. Oh, he would go to review it, which would be fine. Look, the man has opinions. We got to respect his opinions. I don't care if he's a dwarf or a midget or his thumbs are too small to hold a pen. By the way, that was another play. They advertised. Your thumbs are too short to hold that pen. Starring Hervé Villachez. Your arms are too short to box with God, starring Raj from What's Happening. And your thumbs are too short to hold that pen, starring Hervé Villachez. I am the greatest. I am the absolute greatest. Philadelphia, why don't you want me there? Don't you hear me? I'm great. Holy shit. Your thumbs are too short to hold that pen. With Hervé Villachez, worst theater critic ever. Because he would show up and the man has opinions, like I said. We have to let him go ahead and write them down. That's fine. But then he sits there, the curtain goes up, and he yells, "De play! De play!" Interrupts it for everybody. Takes you right out of the moment. Oh, worst theater critic who ever lived. Fuck. I literally, you know what I want to do, folks? I'm not kidding. I want to Randy Watson this show. I want to drop the microphone and walk out of Lily's house right the fuck now. I just want to scream sexual chocolate and bail. Because I'm not sure if you deserve any more, because I am the best. Holy shit. Mother of God, I am great. All right. I actually have tears on my face. That made me laugh. Jesus, that made me laugh. All right. Where the fuck was I?
Amy Winehouse died.
Oh, Amy Winehouse died. It's a somber moment, folks. Seriously, there's no reason to fuck it up with laughter and mirth. So I immediately Twittered, because look, we all knew it was inevitable. All right, that was the whole thing. We knew she was going to die. So I tweeted something that didn't make fun of her. It was kind of a commentary about how inevitable it was that she was going to die. What I said, I heard Amy Winehouse is dead. It only took 4 years for her brain to tell her body. That's what I wrote. Because let's face it, she's been on drugs for 4 years. We've all been waiting for this. It would be like if Thelma and Louise were driving toward the cliff, but they started in Connecticut. All right, they're holding their hands. They're white knuckling it. About the time they hit Illinois, they're like, "Should we stop holding hands? I don't know. They might get us." They keep driving. So we all knew it was going to happen. So I wrote what I wrote, and then I immediately went back to Twitter, and not me personally. Well, some people came after me personally. All right, a few people wrote me about how inappropriate that was, which was fine. And I understand that. Look, everybody's got their opinions. I'm not for everybody, even though I am the greatest. But what I did not enjoy, I will admit, that I did not like, was the general tone of Twitter. Look, it's usually snarky and mean and everybody's stupid. And I hate that. All right, I told you that. Artless snark is the death of us as a society. We all know that. But what I didn't like was the 180 from the artless snark, which was the people that I follow then immediately getting in front of the situation and scolding everyone to not say anything mean about Amy Winehouse. I follow a few people. I'm not going to say names, but they like immediately were like, "Hey, everybody! Isn't it great that you can make fun of a dead person? You're horrible." And like that tisking of the general public. And look, I recognize that Twitter is full of idiots. All right, well, I mean, fuck, they're every morning they're twittering you about how much they love Bernie Mac because he's on TV. Literally, that's what they're telling you. They're telling you how much they love the show because it's on. But I'm so tired of the other people telling me, don't tell people how to act, all right? If you're on Twitter, because again, these same people will have no problem making a joke about how I stuck my dick in a papaya. Like, they're those people, which I guess because it wasn't about a dead singer, it's okay. That's the thing. Everybody's got their fucking button, all right? I had a guy break up with me a few weeks ago on my Facebook wall because he said I made fun of Christianity, and I made him feel stupid, and I made fun of his religion. I had tolerance for everybody else except them. Look, I got tolerance for nobody. I don't know where he thought... How did he hear that I have tolerance for everybody except Christians? Guess what? Everybody owes, everybody pays. That's the way it goes. I don't fucking care. I sit here and I watch life roll past me with 2 jaundiced eyes and a fucking audible sigh, and everybody is getting taken down. That's it. I sit in the bushes with my croquet mallet and wait for life to saunter by whistling happily, and I hit it right in the fucking knees. That's it. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're getting it. That's it. That's the way it goes. I reserve the right to make fun of everybody. Now, that said, do I think it was funny that Amy Winehouse died? Fuck no. I thought it was tragic. I thought it was terrible. I love her. I have her albums. I have both of her albums. We bought them when they came out. When we first heard it, Karen and I were like, we got to get that. And then we tried to find her clips on the internet and stuff like that. We watched her on the Grammys. We were so excited when she won the Grammy because in our heads, and I'm sure in all of our heads, we went, well, that's it. That's the thing that's going to turn her around. She's going to go ahead and come back and realize that, she's gotten this unrequited love from the music industry and from her family, and that's going to pull her back from the brink. But instead, she took her Grammy and she fucking packed it as much as she possibly could with horse tranquilizer and tried to smoke it. I mean, honestly, some people you just can't reach, which is the way they want it. So they get it. Now, I don't like this any more than you men. Oh, Strother Martin. All right. I wonder if Amy Winehouse could eat 50 eggs. God damn it. You know what? This show needs a schematic. Someone needs to break this show down and give you every single, and like, oh, this is what this is from. I need footnotes. That's what I need. I'm the David Foster Wallace of fucking podcasts. That's who I am. That's right. I would have named the show Infinite Jest if you hadn't fucking stolen it. God damn it. I'm serious. You don't think so? Buy Infinite Jest. Literally, that's the first footnote of his career. It says Infinite Jest. It's got a little number. You look down at the bottom. Stolen from Mike Schmidt. I laugh at myself because nobody else will. All right. But it's a tragedy that she died. It's fucking terrible. But I don't need to be scolded by people how to behave or how to lurk. And why? Look, all right. I'm not some fucking peacenik idiot. All right. I think everything is fucking coming apart. All right. I think the world is falling apart right now. You know how I feel like? I see the news and I see the debt ceiling and I see other overseas. Ireland and Iceland and Greece are all falling apart and they're defaulting on their loans and we're about to default on our loans and people are crossing their arms and pouting and saying, I'm not going to fucking fix it. We're not going to raise the debt ceiling. It's all fucking coming apart. And you know how I feel like? Billy Zane in Titanic. You know that scene on the Titanic when all the fucking lifeboats are there and the fucking shit's going on and they're shooting flares in the air and they're trying to escape and all of a sudden there's like a gunshot and he looks at his manservant and he goes, it's all falling apart. We don't have much time. Yeah, fuck yeah. We do not have much time, I'll tell you that, because they are stealing it. They are stealing this fucking country from us. And I hate to be, again, I don't mean to be that guy. And I'm talking everybody. I'm not Republicans, Democrats, corporations, everybody is fucking, they're stealing it. They're stealing it whether they're sending our jobs overseas or that they're charging us $6 to pick a fucking chair. They are stealing it, motherfucker. Holy shit. They just a new country started like 2 weeks ago, East Timor. I'm like, great. How soon until AT&T goes ahead and sends all of their business over there? I really think that somehow the world invented a country that's just going to be made of customer service representatives. That's all East Timor is. They're going to outsource. How soon until AT&T and Sprint and fucking everybody, every corporation you can imagine, Dow Chemical, do they even exist anymore? I got no fucking idea. But everybody's going to outsource. That's what East Timor is going to be. You know what East Timor is? It's a clean suitcase just waiting to get plastered with fucking labels of countries that it's traveled to. You know what I mean? But instead, it's going to be corporate logos, and it's going to be all over. They should make East Timor the first corporately sponsored country. Like when you fly over it, you should just see like logos all over it, like a fucking NASCAR. That's all. They invented a country just so they could send more jobs there away from us. And that's why Amy Winehouse killed herself. No, it isn't. She was killing herself anyway. She was one of the good ones. She was rich. She had a nice house. She was fucking amazing. Had a little problem with the eyeliner. I think we can all agree on that. I don't know if that's junkie related or she just no one showed her how to put her makeup on, but holy fuck. Tone it down, Gene Simmons. What the fuck? Man, oh man. I expected her to be fucking wearing dragon boots and singing God of Thunder half the goddamn time. Wipe your face, junkie. But it's a tragedy, man. It's a tragedy. She's dead. She's disappeared. She's gone. She's finished. And it's like, and because she's, dude, if you want to see, all right, look, there's a clip of her online, and it's my favorite clip of her. And it's so funny because then someone Twittered it the other day, and I was like, thank God, someone else saw this. There's a clip of her. She was on a show, a BBC show, I think, and she sang a song called Valerie, which was on the Back to Black. Is that the album Back in? It's Back to Black, right? I believe so. And she had an album of B-sides that came out, and Valerie is on there, and it's a great song. When you hear it, it's really amazing. But this clip is even better. If you go, I think it's on Daily Motion. You can find it. Just Google. Well, you know what? Don't go to YouTube because there's a million performances of it. Try to go to find the one from Daily Motion. It's about 3.5, 4 minutes long, and it's just her in a room with a guy with a guitar, and she's singing Valerie. And you watch her singing it, and you're stunned. Again, I told you I'm fascinated by greatness. Okay, but to see her just carelessly toss off brilliance while she's sitting in a chair and playing with her hair. Like, that's the thing. She's not even in the moment. She's singing the way you and I would go ahead and do our jobs, the way I would work at the security desk, or you would go and work in an office, or wherever, if you're in a cubicle, wherever the fuck you are, you do your job by rote. Almost muscle memory at this point. That's how you go ahead and function and do the things that you're supposed to do. Well, she's sitting there singing Valerie, and obviously she's thinking about a fix or something because she's not there at all. But it doesn't matter because her talent and her voice are right there with her body, and she's singing perfectly, hitting every note, even emoting in ways that you've never even heard on the album. She makes the song like 100 times better than it is on the album, and it's great on the album. But if you heard her singing, you'd be like, oh my God, she's got her eyes closed and she's swaying and she's really into it and she's brilliant. But then when you watch it, she's twitching like a fucking tweaker. I mean, because that's what she was. That's who she is. So she's tugging her hair and she's pulling her hair and she's twisting it up and she's rubbing her arms and she's pulling her sleeves up and kind of like hugging herself a little bit. And then there's one moment in the chorus of Valerie where she's singing and her own hand catches her eye, almost as if like you're doing acid and you see those traces. You know, that's always the joke where people go, whoa, and they put their hand in front of their face. She catches her hand and she looks down and she grabs her finger and she just kind of starts rubbing her nails. Like she's rubbing her nails with her other hand and she's like, bah! And she's fucking sick. She's carelessly tossing off brilliance while she's not even in the room. And that's an amazing gift. And it's fucking terrible that it was snuffed out. But at the same time, she made the choice to snuff it out. That was her whole deal. Everybody tried to help her. Everybody tried to save her. Except for fucking Blake, the ex-husband. I love when they go to him for quotes. What the fuck what could he possibly say that would enlighten anybody at this point? You know what he can say? I did it. That's all he can say. Because he was the one who got her into drugs and they were in love with one another, and then because she loved him so much, she loved drugs so much because they were together, and she associated drugs with being with Blake. Look, we all have our own emotional bullshit. We all have our own emotional baggage, and everybody's addicted to fucking something. Whether you're out fucking pouring whiskey down your gullet or you're like me and you're eating handfuls of fucking candy in the middle of the goddamn night. Everybody's got their problem, and they do whatever they can to shove it in to keep their other problems underneath it. You know what I mean? You're trying to keep everything buried under a layer of whiskey, or you're trying to, I eat a nice steak because I want to make sure that I don't have to think about whatever the fuck else I got to do with my life. You can escape for that fucking 10 minutes, but unfortunately her 10 minutes became 4 fucking years. And sometimes you got to pay the check, and that's what absolutely had to happen. So she had to fucking die. And people were like, oh, she didn't have to die. Well, no, she didn't have to die, but she made it where she had to die. Because, I mean, you've seen her walking barefoot through alleys with fucking holes in her face. What the fuck was she going to come back from? Was she going to be some it's like when Michael Jackson was trying to come back and there was no coming back from bleached skin and fucking needles in the legs and sleeping with fucking painkiller anesthesia and molesting kids and wearing a veil. I mean, eventually, Thelma and Louise make it from Connecticut to the cliff and go over. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. But after the fact, unfortunately, like I said, Artless Snark and everybody reveled in it and stuff like that. But even worse than Artless Snark is the faux parenting from people on Twitter telling me I can't react a certain way or I shouldn't be a certain way or you shouldn't say those things. You know what? Don't fight with ghosts. All right, I don't need you moralizing. And you know what? If you're going to Twitter some fucking nonsense that tells me, and people are like, oh, you don't even know anything about addiction. You don't know anything about this. You're right. I don't know anything about addiction. My dad died. He was an alcoholic, killed himself, died of alcohol poisoning, alone in a fucking hotel. I got a brother living in a homeless shelter. He's a fucking junkie fiending for fucking pills. You're right. I don't know a fucking thing about it. I'm not making fun of addiction. I'm making fun of somebody who was out of their fucking mind and fucking wound up killing themselves. Had access to all of the best care you could ever possibly imagine and fucking let it slip through their fingertips. Like so many fucking pills you would pour out of an amber bottle and your shaky hand can't fucking hold it because you went ahead and looked at your nail and the other one is you're casually tossing off brilliance in a fucking studio. Don't fucking tisk me on Twitter unless that's what you want to type. Do me that. Do me that courtesy. Don't fucking moralize and try to get to the point with addiction and all this other bullshit and tell me to be nice. Why don't you just type tisk? Because you're my Twitter dad. Well, do me a favor. Take a cue from my other dad and suck down a bottle of fucking whiskey and die in a hotel. I don't need to fucking hear from you. There's nothing good that came out of her death. Nothing at all. Except for my joke, which was great. No, even that was awful. But I mean, at that point, you got it. Because again, like I said, everybody fucking is going to get mowed down eventually. So what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't understand. And like I said, celebrities telling people not to be nice, that's because someone from the celebrity club died, honestly. And it's like, it hits too close to home for them or whatever. And yes, I'm sorry that it's a drag. She was a great singer. I have her albums and I loved her, but you saw it coming, right? Everything's falling apart. And the only thing worse is the moralists who want to tell you that what you should do about it. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't, believe me, I don't pretend to know the first fucking thing. All I am is funny podcaster. That's it. I'm not going to tell you how to fucking save anything or save yourself or fix anything. I can't even fix myself. That's like all those people are telling me on Twitter. They're like, oh, dude, you got to be nice. Or, oh, man, you got to learn. You know anything about addiction. You got to learn this. You got to learn that. No, I don't have to learn a fucking thing. All right. I'm 44 this week and I haven't learned a goddamn thing. And look where I'm at. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. No, I'm not. But I recognize that's my fucking fault. All right? Look, I fucked things up so bad an entire city doesn't want me to come to town. Voted against it. Voted me down. Put me on the ballot just to tell me no. And yet I still insisted on shoving my snout right into their face. And they're like, down, boy. We're not buying any fucking tickets or letting you fly into our goddamn town without a price. And yet I insist on still coming to town. Idiot. And made shirts. Ugh. The shirt should just be my face with a circle and a slash over it. Actually, let me take that back. They already sell those in Philadelphia. I don't want to step on anybody else's concession. Oh, boy. Oh, Christ. So now and then, look, I will tell you this, though. I will say this. The Twitter scolding and the tisk-tisking and all that bullshit, I hated it. Although the glorifying is right up there with that for trying my patience. I mean, I don't need to hear what a genius she was. I don't need to hear that she's Kurt Cobain and she's all these different people. She had 2 great albums and then she died, and that's a drag. But I don't think she's a legend just yet. I mean, it takes a lot more than a handful of horse tranquilizer to make you a legend, honestly. And then, you know what? Maybe if people quit romanticizing the early death and the legendary status you will achieve with that, maybe these people will think twice before fucking swallowing a handful of drain cleaner or whatever the fuck they're taking to get high, before they start chopping up bath salts and snorting them and running around chopping people's heads off with a fucking fashioned broom handle. Jesus Christ. I got to hear more about the 27 Club. Oh, now she's in the 27 Club. It's Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain and Jim Morrison and Amy Winehouse in the 27 Club. It's not the 27 Club. It's a bunch of fucking junkies who died early. There's no club. There was no admission. John Benet Ramsey is not in the 6 Club. Okay? Just because you're a celebrity and you die, you do not immediately enter this glorified status. She's dead. Fuck me. But you guys, again, people glorified. Oh, it's such a shame. The 27 Club and their t-shirts and all this other bullshit. Fuck that. This isn't Logan's Run. Nobody wins a prize if you die at 27. Except for these days. You know what? They do get a prize. They get eulogized by millions of people across the world at 140 characters each. And they get carved up with snark in their fucking afterlife. Seriously, it's death by 1,000 thumbs. You know who doesn't have to deal with that? Bernie Mac. He comes back from the afterlife and he eats your thumb. That's how Bernie Mac, exactly. He's that kind of zombie. He doesn't even care about brains. Bernie Mac comes back to eat thumbs because people are twittering about him and he just wants it to fucking stop. Can't I rest in peace? Holy fuck. He comes back from the grave with his gravelly voice and his firm handshake. And he's going to eat your thumb. Take that. You'll never hitchhike again. Hitchhiking. I should have hitchhiked to fucking Philadelphia. So now I'm set. I'm booked. I'm coming to town. Despite your better efforts, Philadelphia, I'm on my way. So I got my hotel. I got my plane. Theater's booked. Tickets are on sale for the show. Have I mentioned that, folks? There's tickets on sale for the show at the brownpapertickets.com address I may have given out earlier 1,000 times. Use your thumbs for something useful. Click on buy. Because right now it's going to be I always say it's like a live version of the podcast. It's truly going to be a live version of the podcast. Me and a microphone. It's going to be literally, I'll be able to walk in and I'll be able to go, Paul, Mike, Liana, Sarah, Francis. Like I'll be able to say hi to everybody in the room and then I'll just walk up on stage. Oh my God. All right. So, Gabe. Awful. Chris. All right. So now I have a plane ticket. I got a hotel. I got all that. So then I'm like, well, now I gotta rent a car to come to town. Did I mention this earlier about actually it's the first thing I started to talk about when I got on. Because I got a car in Seattle for 15 and I got a car in Austin for 20 and Austin for 20 and then Seattle for 15 and I'm like, Philadelphia's got a ton of cars. In my head we all right, like I've been all over the fucking place here. So I seem to think that I've actually said all this before. If I did, forgive me, folks. If I get out of line here and I start to repeat something that I said early in the show, a couple of things. One, I'm old. Two, go back and remember the Hervé Villechaize thing that came out of nowhere to cut me a little slack here late. So I figure I'm going to go to Philadelphia and get a car. Like I said, I price line these cars. All right. So I've gotten them for lower fees in other cities. So I go, Philadelphia's a huge city. I can go ahead and get it for cheap. So I go online at Priceline. And like I said, I've done all this. I've gone to cheapseats.com. I've gone to all this bidding for travel. I know how to do this. I'm a pro. I'm a veteran. Look at the way I handled my airfare. So I go in and I wait to the last possible moment to get a rental car. I'm like, we're going to be fine. This will be great. I go in and I offer $10. $10 a day, Philadelphia, because I'm actually there 3 days. I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I come home Saturday morning. Very early now, courtesy of AirTran. So I go to rent this car, and I offer $10 a day. And what it is the way you do is you'll send it through, and there will be a William Shatner, a bunch of pictures of him and a big Filipino guy, as I mentioned earlier. And at the end, they will say, your offer was not accepted, but if you increase it $5, we'll make it happen. Or it'll say, sorry, we weren't able to make a match. Try again. Something will happen. But it usually goes through these histrionics. It takes about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So I hit enter, and a picture of William Shatner comes up and immediately disappears to the word no. Like, I mean, it practically punched me in the face, quite frankly. It was so quickly, it rejected $10. Like Shatner even kind of made a face. Like, it was like, I don't know if they have him, but for one specific pose, if you low bid, he just makes a face like, really? And then it went, no. Like, it's just put up this, we can't help you. And it didn't even offer me a counter offer. So I knew that was a problem. All right. Because usually if you come in too low, they're just like, dude, you're an idiot. Because again, folks, I'm a veteran at this. I've done this many, many times, as I've mentioned. Did I mention that in Seattle I got $15 for a car? I did. I think I did. So I went, well, you know what? Fuck, I guess I can pay 15. That's what I paid in Seattle. So I try again at 15. I punch in 15. I don't even get the picture of Shatner this time. I hit enter and it goes right to the no screen. No! No counteroffer. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. Well, I paid 20 in Austin. I guess I can pay 20 there, but it seems weird because, again, there's like so many car companies and so many cars. It's Philadelphia, huge city. Usually there's an inventory. I mean, I've done it before because I've rented cars in Chicago and other places like that, and it's fairly easy. So what I didn't take into account was the fact that I'm Mike Schmidt, and Philadelphia doesn't want me there. Their entire attitude is, hey, we already have a Mike Schmidt. We don't need another one coming in here and sullying up his reputation by saying fuck a million times and sweating all over our floorboards. So I go, well, I'll just go ahead and I'll try $30. So I put in the 30. Well, I mentioned the 20 said, oh, no, I didn't. I tried 20, and I tried 20 like I got in Austin, and I again, nothing. No, not even a counteroffer. So in my head, I go, well, fuck it. I got to try 30 because I need a car. All right, that's the thing. And then in my head, I start doing the math. I'm like, well, fuck. I'm going to be there 3 days. I guess I could take cabs, but I have to get from the airport to the hotel. I have to get just bare minimum. Okay, I have to get from the airport to the hotel Wednesday. I have to get from the hotel to the Phillies game Thursday, and then I have to get from the hotel to the theater on Friday, and then from the hotel to the airport on Saturday. And in my head, I'm like, well, that's the 2 airport rides are probably $40 each. So that's 80. And then even if I'm just merely a prisoner of going back and forth, that's going to be another, I'm going to guess $40 on its own. So that's 120. Also taking into account the fact that with word out that the city doesn't even want me in town, is there even going to be a cabbie willing to pick me up? So I have to factor in the cost of disguises. Like I got to buy a burqa. I bet I could wear a turban and a burqa and get picked up in Philadelphia a lot more than I could be in Mike fucking Schmidt. So I go, I got to try 30. I mean, I'll try that. We'll see what happens. And I punch in the 30. This time it comes up with a counteroffer. I will tell you that. William Shatner, I got a Shatner dance. I didn't get a mean Shatner face. I got about 5 seconds of Shatner histrionics, big Filipino guy, and then it ends and it comes up with, I'm sorry, your offer of $30 could not be accepted, but here are these amazing deals. Now, I should also tell you, I'm trying to get a standard-sized car because I am a giant. I can't get an economy car. I could be driving around in a fucking Aveo. Look, I don't want to be in a car with 3 vowels. Fuck that. There's not even room for sometimes Y in that fucking car. It's so small. So I can't rent some piece of shit like that. And I also don't want to get stuck with a Sebring. Dude, again, as I've mentioned, they offered me the Sebring in Seattle. And I said, look, I'm not going to be Sebring in Seattle. I don't give a fuck if Meg Ryan's in the car or not. You okay? Don't spit. She was drinking water when I said that. All right, it's okay. You should have spit. It would have been funnier for me. You spit on me. She spit on me once in year 1. That was pretty funny. She spit soda all over me. Oh, my God. We weren't even doing the podcast. She just walked up to me and blasted it in my face like Amy Winehouse spitting fire. So, and I hope I'm not coming off as too precious when I say that I love me. Because, I mean, I'm not that guy. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, I have to admit that I'm great sometimes. So the 30. Here's their counteroffer. I offered $30 a day. Here's their counteroffer. They will rent me an economy car for $70 a day.
Holy shit.
An economy car, an Aveo, some smart car with a clown's face on the side of it for fucking $70 a day. Dude, I get it. You don't fucking want me there. So then again, in my head, I had a small epiphany in my head. I went, well, what if, like, there are people who, like I said, I've mentioned Gabe and everybody else who's going to be at the show. You know, your Sarahs and all these people. Will one of them take me to the show? No, holy fuck. They bought tickets. I mean, they're the only ones who bought tickets. Now I'm going to impose upon them for rides all over goddamn fucking town, especially because I got to leave town eventually, and they still have to live there and be hooted at by the locals for bringing around the hated Mike Schmidt. I can't ask that of anybody. So I look at the 70, and I actually react as if I were punched in the gut. Like I'm like, oh, like it's unbelievable to me. $70 a day. That's unheard of. All right, like I said, I've gone to Chicago for a week, and you get weekly rates and stuff like that, but it's never been that fucking high. The car that was stolen that I rented from Thrifty, the fucking Town and Country van, was $45 a day. $70 for a fucking economy car. That's why I ask if it's the Road Warrior. That's why I ask if gas is at a premium or if cars are. I don't know. Maybe you guys you're having car jousting. I don't fucking know. All your roads have been torn up by the Amish and their buggies as they try to wheel along and they clip clop and destroy the fucking asphalt. So now the cars are at a premium. I guess I have to rent a buggy. Maybe I can rent a buggy, although I'm sure that's fucking $70 a day. Fuck you, Ezekiel. I am not getting in your buggy for $70 a day.
Oh my God.
That's right. I made Hezekiah and Ezekiel one guy. $70 a day for an economy car. I'm like, fuck that. There's no way. There's no way. So then immediately you backpedal and you go, well, what can I possibly do? There's nothing I can do. There's nothing. What am I take the bus all over the fucking place? Fuck that. Don't nod your head. Never. Never in a million years. I'm never taking the bus again. I don't give a fuck. So I start to look at other like I can't rent from Thrifty, all right, because I'm sure they have a picture of me just like Philadelphia does with a circle and a slash through it. So I start looking at individual companies, and I'm a member of a travel club like the Chevron Travel Club, so I'm trying to save money there. Hertz, and again, that's $70 for the economy car. Turns out that's a deal from Alamo, because I go to Budget, I go to Avis, I go, first of all, don't ever go to Hertz and Avis, because they're horrible. They just, all they want to do is fuck you in the ass, which seems really weird for a car rental company. That's the kind of behavior I think I'd get at AirTran. So, I'm looking, and I start looking everywhere else, and it's like $110 a day. There's no break, nowhere. So I start Googling again. I've done this before. You can find rental car coupons online and budget codes and all these different things. And I start using them. They're outdated. They're not, and it becomes work. Again, it's work. It's more work than the show. Like coming out there is going to be. It's more work than fucking doing the show. And I'm dicking around for the car, and I'm looking, and I go back to Priceline, and I go, well, fuck this. I'll try 50. I mean, honestly, I'll try 50 and we'll see what happens. And I put in $50. I should say this was Sunday that this all took place. And then I shined it. And then Monday came around yesterday, and I pronounced it weirdly and said Monday. And I did it yesterday, and I went up to 40, and then I went up to 50 yesterday, and it didn't happen. And again, they kept coming up with the $70 for an economy car. That was the best deal I was going to get on Priceline. So finally this morning, because I fly tomorrow morning. I'm on a plane at 6 a.m. And so I have to get a car. Today's the day I have to get a car. And I figure it's one day out. Maybe there's going to be a deal somewhere. I tried 55 on Priceline, thinking I would save at least a little bit of money. And again, no, $70 for an economy car. I went to Budget and I used my Chevron travel code. And miraculously, it came up to where it's $190 total for a full-size car.
Nice.
Not standard, that's a bump above standard. That's your Hyundai Sonatas. That's right. I'm going to be in a Korea mobile all over your goddamn city, Philadelphia. Take that. So it comes up and it's like $188.50. So in my head I go, fuck. And by the way, that's of course before taxes and fees, as we all know. So I click on it. It goes through. It's $238. With taxes and fees before insurance.
Oh, yeah.
I have to get insurance for the car, which is $20 a day in Seattle, which is $20 a day in Austin, which is $28 a day in Philadelphia, where I'm staying for 3 days. That's another $75. I have to take it. I click yes. Goes to the next screen where I'm going to check out. They have the balls to ask me if I want XM radio. Now listen, I understand you're trying to squeeze every fucking dime that you possibly can. Do me a favor, while you've got your hand in my ball sack looking for every dime, go ahead and shake hands with the fucking airlines because they've had their hand up there the entire weekend. Again, I don't know why I keep my money there. But they asked me for if I want XM radio. Now look, I have XM radio at my house. Okay? Do you know how much my XM radio is? $12 a month in my car. They want $15 for the 3 days. At first I thought it was $15 a day, at which point I would have just turned my chair around to the computer and hoped that somehow Tron would have happened and it would have sucked me into the budget rental car site so I could just fucking wreak havoc with a lighted disc. I don't fucking care. $15 a fucking day? You're shitting me. I pay $12 a month. But then it turned out to be $15 for the whole 3 days. And in my head, I actually went, I guess that's not so bad. What? Quit settling. That's what I'm saying. We're all so used to getting fucked. We're just like, yeah, that's not so bad. It is bad. It's fucking terrible. What, to listen to like the 70s on 7? $15? I'm not even going to be in the fucking car. I don't even want to be in the fucking car. I don't even want to rent the car. If I could snap my fingers and teleport to fucking shows in the Citizens Bank ballpark, I absolutely would. But I got to fucking rent this goddamn car. So I laugh. I see the XM. They have the balls to ask me, and I go, no, denied. So it goes to the next screen where I go to check out. They have the huge balls, the gigantic sweaty balls to ask me if I need a GPS. And not only do they want to know if I need a GPS, they've actually checkmarked it for me, yes, because underneath it says, this is highly recommended for this city. They just expect me to hit yes. They've got a check mark in it already. You have to physically go to no and hit no. I punched the no. Like I just punched the no on the screen. It's like a touch screen. Fuck you, punch. Fucking I just hit no. I am a caveman at that point, staring at an obelisk. I'm like, motherfucking 2001 theme. No, I don't need a GPS. Because honestly, it's Mike Schmidt. Are you aware of that? And I'm going to Philadelphia. I don't need a GPS. Everybody in that city is already going to tell me where to go. You guys can get me at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can follow me on Twitter.com at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can be my friend on Facebook at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp on Twitter at Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp or Twitter.com/MNTs or both. Why not? And if you'd like to write her a personal note and ask her about gilding the lily and what that might mean, you can go ahead and write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Zazzle.com/40-year-old-boy. Please buy all his stuff.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. 10 o'clock p.m. is the time for that show. This past week I heard was hot, like crazy, almost dirty hot. Like it was like sexy. Because Lily always likes funny. She's like, I like funny burlesque. I got news for you. Anybody with a cock does not like funny burlesque. We're there to see hot girls dancing around, taking off clothes, and save your rubber chicken and take your seltzer bottle walking. But I guess this past week was really super hot. I wish I would have been there. Unfortunately, I was not. But this week, I hear, is just as good. Lily.
Yes, Michael.
That's Lily Von Stupp. She's the producer of the Monday Night Teas show. Hey, Lily, who's coming this week?
I am.
What?
Yes, I am hosting and performing.
Wait, you're hosting and dancing?
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
That's an amazing show. People have to come for that. That's fucking fantastic. If I should swear in the middle of your plug. Sorry about that.
Do. Swear all the time.
I do. All right. Well, you're hosting as you. You're not like in a anti-mame weird wheelchair. Nothing. You.
No, just me.
Lily Von Stupp is hosting and dancing. Do you know what performance you'll be doing?
I will be doing a Monty Python song and sharing with people why they should always look on the bright side of life.
Fantastic. Well, that's good news. And then other people are there. People from out of town. People local. Who's here?
This Monday. Oh God, my mind is blank on who's performing.
But it's going to be fantastic anyway. Is it a theme show?
No, there's no themes. All August long is the summer of burlesque, and it is going to be hot.
Fantastic. So come on out. Oh, that's August already, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Good Lord. Where's the time going? Exactly. 43-year-old May says these words, and by the time some of these people hear this, I may be 44-year-old May. Who knows? No one has any idea. I'm an old man. All right, so that's the Monday Night Tease every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine, 10 o'clock. Tickets are available at MondayNightTease.com.
Yes.
There you go. So go ahead and check that out. And also go to burlesque411.com for all sorts of information about burlesque and just to make sure our hit count goes up for Lily. Because I don't know if you know that she gets a ton of money from the internet wizards, the people who run the internet. Whenever she gets a hit, they give her $1. All right. And as always, by the way, with her hosting and her dancing, if you do go to the show, grab her ass and tell her you're from the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. She will encourage that. Also, I want to thank everybody who's become my friend on Facebook and written me. If you want me to come to your town, as I've mentioned, there are plenty of pages on Facebook. I mean, look, we already know who doesn't want me to come to their town. But the cities that do want me to come to their town, like I said, plenty of towns on Facebook now. Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Atlanta. Boston is very angry at me, I found out. What a shock. The city of Boston is angry about something. But I guess I said something where Boston wasn't in play, and I got some emails from people from Boston. There's a guy named Andrew, a real nice guy, who's like, dude, I want you to come here. What can make this happen? Well, I need to sell some tickets because unfortunately we need to find out, because right now on the page there aren't enough people for me to set up a theater date, because I'm finding, folks, coming to the East Coast is expensive. Remind me, I'll tell you about it at some point. If you see me, buttonhole me and ask me about it. I have some thoughts about how expensive it is to get to the East Coast. I can't go into it here, but I'll tell you about it. But I can't imagine Boston being any cheaper. So, and I can't wait to see what New York has in store for me in a few weeks, because I will be in New York at the Producers Club Theater. The Producers Club Crown Theater, I should say, in Hell's Kitchen in New York, Friday, August 12th. Go ahead and get tickets available at brownpapertickets.com. I will be in Denver, as I've mentioned, at Denver's Dangerous Theater. That's September 16th. That's a Friday night. I think that show's at 8 o'clock as well. It might be 7:30. Could be 8. I don't know. But tickets are available for that at brownpapertickets.com. And I will say people are buying Denver tickets, which is great, and people are buying some New York tickets. But, it kind of starts out with you sell tickets and then it peters off. I hope that isn't the case this time. I hope people in Denver and New York continue to buy tickets. That would be great. I'm interested to see what this show does in a full house. Like when I did it in Portland, it was interesting. There's almost 70 people in Portland, which was great. So get tickets. Go to brownpapertickets.com for Denver and for New York. And I should mention that I'm also going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's this Friday, July 29th, at the Plays and Players Theater, 3rd floor. Tickets are still available for that show at brownpapertickets.com. Go ahead and pick those up. That would be great. Facebook.com, there's also all these pages for people who want to bring me to their town. And so if you want me to come to your town, sign up and tell me you'll buy a ticket, and then that would be cool. Milwaukee, our friend Jill out there is saying that she'll bring 1 million friends. But I will tell you this, people will say that, and then they'll text their friends. Their friends are like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. And they don't want to pay to come see me, which I don't blame them. Again, nobody knows who the fuck I am. A lot of this is my fault. Again, I'm presuming that I'm going to go to a town and people are going to just buy a ticket to see a guy they've never fucking heard of. That's my fault. That's on me. I need to change that in the coming weeks and months. But know that you people are the vanguard. You're the people who are showing me that I can do this live, and that's great. Now we just need to show other people. That would be fantastic. If you want to be my friend on Facebook, you can. And while you're there, go to the Mike Schmidt Inc. section and be friends with Lily Von Stupp and be friends with David Hernandez, who does all of the artwork for my show and also designs the T-shirts that are on sale for the show. I am bringing T-shirts to Philadelphia. Right now I have more shirts than I have tickets sold. That's going to be very interesting. But I do have T-shirts available, and people have already written me trying to claim a shirt. And I will. Here's the breakdown. I will tell you about. This is what I have. All right. I only have a few larges. I only have a few mediums. I have a few more extra larges, and I have two X's. So whoever wants those, I'm bringing them. They'll be great. And the tickets, the shirts will be on sale for $20 at the show. And I must tell you that unfortunately, I am not a credit card wizard. I don't have a machine, so it's going to have to be cash. If you want a shirt, bring cash. That'd be great. And you know what? Just buy a ticket at the fucking show. I don't even give a shit if you want a shirt. Look at it and tell me how cool it is, but come to the show, okay? Because I can sell the shirts on here after the fact. Like if I have any leftover Philadelphia shirts, I'll just sell them on the show. You guys will be able to order via Facebook or whatever. I was going to have a new art page set up on my MikeSchmidtComedy.com, but I don't have a web guy yet. Still in play. Still trying to find out if I'm going to have a web guy soon. I've had 3 people come on board and then say no. Like after a week, they decided, oh, can't do it, which is fine. I completely understand that. People have lives. It just, I should actually, when I'm in Philadelphia, maybe I'll ask around and see if somebody there wants to do my web work, just to see the comically large number they throw my way. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Like I said, if you go to the Joe Business page, you will be able to see a place for tweakedaudio.com/40. I did not mention them today because I didn't feel they wanted to be caught up in the fucking fire-breathing rage that most of the show was. I was going to associate the fact that, I don't know if you know this, by the way, a few people don't know this, Amy Winehouse was wearing tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds in her home when they found her, and listening to her own album. Good for her. I mean, I would too. That's how I want to go out. Believe me, if I have my earbuds on from tweakedaudio.com/40 and I'm listening to my own show, I'm praying to die at some point because that's how I want to go out, listening to me talk. As it tamps down the other voice in my head who's telling me I'm not great. I want them to be fighting right when I fucking shuffle off this mortal coil. And then I have Aisley Horgan Wallace cry about me in the street. I think I fucked that name up, but who cares? Tweakedaudio.com/40. The link is on the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Also, there's a link to buy the download sets for the show. You can buy year 1, year 2, or year 3 individually, or you can buy them all together as the Lord of the Schmidt set. And that's, of course, the Fellowship of the Schmitty, the 2 Schmitties, and Return of the Schmitty. So go ahead and buy all 3 at once if you'd like, or buy them individually. That's up to you, because a lot of people already have 1 and 2. A lot of people already have 3. Some people have 4. Astonishing. I don't know how they got it, but they did. They flash forward in time. Why? Just to get every episode of year 4 of my podcast. That seems like a weird reason to invent time travel, but okay, good for you. You'd think you'd want to go forward in time and kill Hitler. That's right, he comes back. I have my own time machine, folks. And believe me, I've gone forward and seen the rest of year 4. No reason to build a time machine to go and get it. If you do build a time machine, go flash forward and kill Hitler again, please. Because he does come back. Along with Bernie Mac. They claw their way out of the graves. Zombie Hitler and zombie Bernie Mac as they fucking roam the countryside looking for brains and brawn. Seriously, folks. That right there is the funniest thing you're ever going to hear in your life. On the fly, brains and brawn, zombie Hitler. Woof. You know what? I kiss my bicep on that one because I fucking deserve it. I'd blow myself if I could. That was great. I want to fuck that joke. On the fly. Buy some tickets, Philadelphia. Look what you're missing. Brains and brawn. Why is that not a shirt or something? Oh, Jesus, that's great. MikeSchmidtComedy.com, man, on the Joe Business page. You can also donate to the show. In the upper left-hand corner is a Mike Schmidt there. Click on it and donate. You can make a one-time donation. You can make a recurring donation, a subscription, $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. People have done that, and I want to thank you for that. Or if you make a one-time donation, you can go ahead and get yourself mentioned on the show like these people did. Carl S., this is the guy who recommended Rock Sugar to me. Remember him? Carl S. He finally went ahead and donated to the show. I say finally like he was supposed to. He did all he could by mentioning Rock Sugar. That's as much a donation as he should possibly make. I got a whole fucking 3 shows out of Rock Sugar. We met our friend Joe Saruman because of that. I went to a Christmas party because of that. Thank you, Carl S. You didn't even need to send any money. You made my life with the Rock Sugar suggestion. Eric A. also donated to the show. And our friend Brian M. donated to the show as well. Thank you. And you notice I'm not saying their last names. It's because they didn't tell me that they wanted me to say their full names. If you want me to say your full name when you make a donation, please go ahead and let me know, and I'll be happy to say your full name, like Michael Yoder. Michael Yoder said, hey, you know what? Use my full name. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you. I said, fantastic. So Michael Yoder, you joined Carl S., Eric A., Brian M., and John Freeman. That's right, John Freeman donated to the show and said, use my full name. I don't know if he said it like John F. Kennedy at the Berlin Wall, but he said it sort of like that. So that's John Freeman, Michael Yoder, Carl S., Eric A., Brian M. Thank you all for donating to the show. And if you want to donate to the show, again, go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, Joe Business, click on the donation link. And remember, this month, the month of July, if you donate $20, tweakedaudio.com/40 will give you a free tweakedaudio.com cock ring watch. If you donate $40 to the show, tweakedaudio.com/40 will give you tweakedaudio.com 40 earbuds, which are great and amazing. Ask Amy. And if you donate $50 or more, you will get the full set. You will get the tweakedaudio.com/40 cock ring watch, the tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds. The entire anti-premature ejaculation set will be yours for a donation of $50 and up. Go ahead and click on the little Schmitty and do what you can to go ahead and donate to the show. We appreciate it. Lily appreciates it. Dave appreciates it. Every time you donate, you are supporting this show and contributing to my going on the road and traveling live. So please know that about 400 of you, your donations went to my trip to Philadelphia. Because Jesus Christ, I'm going to tell you, I didn't exactly give you the full numbers, but I'll tell you right now, I wound up getting the car. I went ahead and clicked through and got the car. Folks, that car, $325 to rent a car in Philadelphia. $325 to rent a car. That was more than the hotel. All right, by a good number. I don't want to give you all the numbers here, folks, but suffice it to say, the hotel came in. I actually got a deal on the hotel, and I was like, "Look, everything's coming up Schmidt." Nope. The hotel was. I should just sleep in the fucking car. I should have just rented the car and slept in that, for Christ's sake, and then and gone. And I wouldn't need to shower because every time I would walk by a business, waiters would dump water on my head. Because again, it's Mike Schmidt in Philadelphia. These people aren't interested in having me there. Case in point, the certainly ticket sales are an abrupt blast of water in the fucking face. The T-shirts that I'm going to be coming home with are going to be fantastic. The rental car for $325. The hotel, which I told you about, was a decent deal. The airfare, which wound up being a goddamn circus and cost me $465. I'm going to the Philly game, and by the way, because the Phillies are the best team in baseball, there's no breaks to be had there at all. Literally, I'm buying one ticket for me. I'm going to the game Thursday night. I bought a ticket for $70, I think it was, to sit in the upper tank. And the reason it's because like a fireworks show and the Giants are in town, and also because there was a special on StubHub. It said, do you want a ticket? And then underneath it said, are you Mike Schmidt? And I had to click it, and it said yes. But you know what, fucking Philadelphia? You're not going to beat me. You're not going to keep me out of your town. I don't give a fuck what kind of an air defense system you put in. I don't care what kind of a moat you build. I don't care what kind of a tall wall you got around your goddamn town to protect your cheesesteaks and fucking tasty cakes. It doesn't matter to me because I'm coming. I am coming, Philadelphia. I have rented the most expensive car in the fucking world. I have bought a fucking a hotel room out in the swamps of Jersey. I have bought an airplane ticket. I am flying home with transsexuals. Jesus Christ. It doesn't fucking matter to me because I'm coming to your town and hell is coming with me. That's right. At the fucking Plays and Players Theater, 3rd floor, this fucking Friday, 8 o'clock. Mike Schmidt, success is not an option. And believe me, that title has never been more apt than it is now in fucking Philadelphia because I am taking a loss. Good thing the Phillies colors are red because I am in the fucking red this entire goddamn trip. But I don't fucking care. I'm coming. I don't give a fuck if nobody's in the room. I don't give a if it's just me and I got to make eye contact with Francis. Every joke I'll say Sarah, hello to Gabe, hi Mike, hello to fucking Paul, Chris, everybody who comes to the fucking show. I'm just going to say by name and address an individual joke to you. It's going to be like a radio show where people call in to make fucking cross-distance dedications and fucking try to make sure that everybody goes ahead and hears certain. I'm going to dedicate every single joke to one person. I'm going to call my shot. I'm the fucking Babe Ruth of fucking Philadelphia. I'm going to stand there. I'm going to point at one person in the audience and I'm going to do a joke just for that fucking person. And you can't keep me out. Build your fucking wall. Take in your ladders, drop your drawbridge, and fucking put out your dragon. You're not keeping me out of your fucking town, Philadelphia. I am coming there, and I am ruining you motherfuckers. Just for all the shit you've put me through, I am coming to town, and I am fucking destroying you. I am going to lay waste to your fucking town. You know what? You think it's the Road Warrior now? You think it's trouble now with your fucking torn up roads from your clip-clop buggies? I am going to fucking lay waste to that place, and then I am going to escape from Philadelphia. It's just going to be me and the fucking president escaping in our pod, and then we are going to gun down the Duke of Philadelphia right there on your dilapidated fucking bridge. And then Pliskin is just going to unwheel the entire cassette tape and the world is fucking ending and I don't fucking care. I am just stupid enough to think that when people listen to me and they listen to the show, they should take my honesty and go, oh, wow, how refreshing his unvarnished honesty is. And the fact that he's willing to have a scorched earth policy and have no friends or no fucking future is so refreshing and great. But then they'll say to me, hey, do you need somebody raped for the steak? I go, yes, I do. Done. They'll take care of it for me. Thanks, Snake Rape. Oh, no one listens to show, bro? Wonder why? Wonder why no one listens to show, bro? I don't want to listen to show, bro. Please. Snake Rape, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.